I've made $700,000 plus in revenue with my clothing brand Be Special, and every single month I'm consistently making $68,000. My pieces have been worn by A-list celebrities like Gunna, Soulja Boy, Sway Lee, and plenty more celebrities that you've seen all over Instagram. For 4 consecutive years, I've been building my brand from when I used to work at UPS to selling shirts in the trunk to now running a full-scale operation for my clothing brand that has changed my life. In this free 2-hour clothing brand course, I'm gonna be pulling back the curtain on everything it takes to build a successful clothing brand in today's market in 2025. The clothing brand space has been changing significantly in the past few months, whether it was Trump's new tariffs, new designs, and even new trends. So here in today's course, I'm giving you guys the most updated information. In this video, you'll discover how to develop your brand's unique voice with the new method that I created in 2025. Create designs that customers can't resist and transform initial concepts into physical products that people will absolutely love. We'll cut through the confusion of manufacturing together, connect with vendors who deliver quality products without the headaches, and implement the new 2025 marketing strategies that build genuine hype before you even drop. From the psychology of what makes people buy to the back-end systems that keep orders flowing smoothly. This complete blueprint I've refined through years of wins and losses. Again, this is an exact system and blueprint that I've fine-tuned through countless failures and eventual breakthroughs. This is the exact system that's gotten my students 5 to 6 figures. Like Elmira, who's 19 years old and made $15,000 on her first drop starting from absolutely zero. Or even like David, Mario, and Dane, who made $10,000 each their first month working with me and implementing the strategies that I'm going to show you today for completely free. But let me keep it real with you. Some of you that are watching this video right now will click off in the next few minutes. You'll probably say, I don't have time for this 2-hour video, or I'm just gonna skip to the interesting parts. And that's exactly why most people don't build generational wealth and success with their brand. They want shortcuts that quite frankly don't exist. So I'm challenging you right now. Watch this video from start to finish. Take notes and actually implement what I'm teaching you. And please don't be like the 99% of people who consume content and never take action. Now, am I promising you that you're gonna make $68,000 a month after watching this video? Hell no. That would be absolutely capped. But what I am guaranteeing is that this video will give you the exact roadmap to finally break free from that soul-crushing 9-to-5 job, just like me at UPS. To finally have that financial freedom, time freedom, and even location freedom that you've been missing while sitting at your cubicle building someone else's dream. This video right here is your blueprint to hitting your first 10 to 20K drop. Your path to finally being able to walk in your boss's office and quit on your own terms. And beyond the money, this is about creating something that represents you, spreading your brand message, and building a community that represents what you actually stand for. So grab that pen and paper and lock in right now. Grab some coffee if you need to, and make sure you watch this video in full. Put your phone on D&D and let's get it. In this free 2025 updated clothing brand course, I'm gonna reveal step by step on how I went from delivering packages at my dead end 9-to-5 job to making multiple 6 figures with my clothing brand. And basically how you can too, without any prior experiences as a beginner, and as long as you follow the exact methods, processes, and frameworks that I talk about in this course, you will be successful. Now, if you're a returning viewer, you're probably asking me what makes this video different from the other ones you posted months back. Well, it's pretty simple. It's 2025 now, and the brand space is always changing, especially with Trump's new tariffs, different trends, and etc. So I'm showing you the most updated information on how to start and scale a clothing brand today. So it's crucial that you watch this until the end. Before we jump into the tactical information for this full course on how to start and scale your brand, taking you from A to Z on everything you need to know on how to make your first $10,000 with your clothing brand, I need to address this. Why should you listen to me specifically? And why you should truly have the conviction and take action on this information I'm about to give you today? Well, it's pretty simple. Everything I teach comes from real experience. I've built my brand Be Special from zero to consistently doing $68,000 months. I've generated over $700,000 in revenue with my brand, and I've collaborated with major celebrities like Gunna, Soulja Boy, Sway Lee, The Baby, and even Mexican OT. And most importantly, I've helped hundreds of brand owners achieve similar results. But it always wasn't like this. It definitely wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. 2 years ago, I was exactly where you might be right now, stuck in a soul-crushing 9-to-5 job at UPS, delivering packages in 120-degree Arizona heat, making $5,000 a month, which was decent enough to survive, but nowhere near enough to truly live the life of freedom I've always wanted. I absolutely hated it, y'all. I hated my job. The breaking point came during an inspection at our UPS facility. I needed to use the bathroom, and my supervisor stopped me and said, "Where do you think you're going? You need to ask for permission first." A grown man having to ask for permission to use the bathroom? What are we, in elementary school? Like, that moment I knew something had to change. I was mentally clocked out of work forever right then and there. That's when I finally took the leap of faith to go all in with my brand and leave my job. Now, fast forward to today, I wake up whenever I want. I work from wherever I want. I've traveled to over 20 countries while running my brand. I've gotten merch on major celebrities and collaborated with major events like SneakerCon. And I've been featured on Times Square. Most importantly, I never have to ask permission to use a bathroom again. I consistently do $68,000 months with my brand, and that's more in 1 month than I used to make in an entire year at UPS. And I build systems that allow much of this income to be passive, coming in even when I'm traveling or when I'm sleeping. That feeling to get a sale when you're asleep, or that feeling to wake up to $200, $300, $400 days is something you just can't compare. But this isn't just about me or the money. It's about freedom, creativity, and building something that represents your vision and values. It's about the community you'll build and the impact you'll make. Just look at the results from some of my students. Elmira, who's only 19 years old, did $15,000 in just 1 day with her first drop with her clothing brand. Victor, who went from zero knowledge to making $1,000 a day in 60 days. That's $30,000 a month. David, Mario, and Dame, $10,000 in just 30 days, and David quitting his 9-to-5 job. Matt, who sold out his drop and bought a Hellcat in his first month. Shanera, who got scammed from her first mentorship and then sold out her entire first drop in just 1 month with mine. And I'll show even more results later in this video. Now that you know my story and can trust that what I'm about to show you is legit, by the way, all the results that I showed you are from my one-on-one mentorship program. It's in the first link in the description if you're interested. But if not, it's all good too. That's why I'm making this free video so everyone can eat, not just the students in my inner circle. Now, let's just talk about the mindset of owning a clothing brand or just owning a business in general. This right here is probably the most important part of this entire course, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was stuck at a 9-to-5 too. Right? Just like a lot of you guys watching right now. You just heard my story, delivering packages in 120-degree Arizona heat. My supervisor telling me I needed permission to use the bathroom like I'm some type of child. That's just not a way that I want to live. That paycheck to paycheck lifestyle will drain your soul if you let it. The biggest thing that held me back wasn't my skills or my knowledge. It was my mindset. I had all these limiting beliefs about what was possible for me. I don't have enough time. I need a steady paycheck. I don't know enough about business. What if I fail and lose everything? Sound familiar? These are the thoughts that keep you trapped, y'all. And the system wants you to keep you trapped, because when you're trapped, you're predictable. When you're predictable, you're profitable for somebody else. Let me tell you something that changed everything for me. That move you're scared to make might change your life forever. Read that again. Most people are sitting on winning products and winning ideas right now, but they never take action because of fear. What are you guys scared of? Losing your 9-to-5 job? The job that they can replace you tomorrow? The job where you're building someone else's dream instead of yours? Here's the truth. Investing in yourself is the highest return investment you'll ever make. Period. When I first started spending money on my own development, my own education, my own business, that's when everything changed. Some of y'all are watching this right now thinking, I can't afford to invest in myself. But the real question is, can you afford not to? You're trading 40+ hours a week of your life, your most precious resource, for a paycheck that barely covers your bills. And what happens when you're 60 to 70 years old? You're gonna want that freedom then. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is what you know and what you do. Information without action is useless. Action without information is dangerous. I see so many brand owners making the same mistakes over and over and over again. They go from product to product, drop to drop, thinking it's the product that's not making them win. But the majority of the time, y'all are sitting on winning products. It's just your marketing, your systems, your mindset that's holding you back. Let me keep it real with you. Building a successful clothing brand isn't easy. If it was, everyone will be doing it. But it is simple if you have the right mindset and the right system. You've seen the results I shared earlier. Elmira doing 15K in 1 day on her drop. Victor going from zero knowledge to 1K days in just 60 days. David quitting his 9-to-5 after making 10K in 30 days. These results are real because these people took action with the right information. But first, you gotta make that decision. Are you ready to take control of your life? Are you ready to stop asking for permission to live the way you want to live? Are you ready to build something that gives you location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom? Think about what your life looks like 1 year from now if you keep doing the exact thing that you're doing now. Same job, same route, same stress, same limitations. Now think about what your life could look like if you took this seriously, followed the system, built something that was real. The difference between these two futures is a decision you might make right now. I remember when I was in your position, I was scared to take that leap. But once I did, once I committed to this path, my entire life transformed. That's why I created this course, to give you the roadmap I wish I had when I first started. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of building your clothing brand, I need you to make this promise to yourself. Promise that you're going to take this seriously. Promise that you're going to invest your time, your energy, and yes, eventually your money into creating a life that you actually want to live. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about building a clothing brand. This is about building your freedom. Now that you're in the right mindset, let's get into the full tactical information. Now, let's start off with inspiration. Once you've locked in your brand identity, the next step is finding information from other brands in your niche. Brands that you already have the vibe you're going for. right? So if you're looking to start a clothing brand, you want to start off by looking at inspiration. There was some type of inspiration that came about to you in your mind, or even scrolling on social media or seeing something in person that made you actually want to start a clothing brand. When it comes to pulling inspiration, it honestly doesn't matter where you get it from as long as it fits your niche. Since a lot of you are into streetwear, let's use that as an example. Think about Spider, right? That's Young Thug's brand. And if you're tapping into more of a basketball or sportswear lane, think of Raya Cole Rain is another solid brand that you can look at, right? So any niche that you want to get into for your clothing brand, whether it's sportswear, streetwear, loungewear, fitness wear, luxury wear, look at other brands that are successful in that same niche. The reason why we study other brands isn't just to get ideas, it's to speed up your design process, which is step 5, and to give you proof of concept. If you're trying to start a luxury brand, you're not the only one trying to start a luxury brand. There are other successful luxury brands out there. So you want to make sure that you are studying these other luxury brands that are successful. Hate to break it to you, but trying something that the world has never seen before is super risky. There's no guarantee the market will respond well, and that can lead to delays, losses, and even setbacks. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, redesign it. The wheel already works. It just keeps evolving and getting better over time. The same logic applies to clothing brand designs. Now let's be real. You're not about to be the next Virgil tomorrow, and that's okay. You need to start from scratch. You just need to make what's already working better. Like Zuckerberg with Facebook. The idea of a chat system wasn't new. Skype and other platforms existed, but he built on top of what was already proven. That's just the mindset that you need. Now, for some practical tips, scroll through Pinterest, scroll through Instagram Explore page, and even brand pages to study what's actually working. From their design style to how they run their reels or even product shots. Don't copy, just take notes on what catches your eye, right? So let me give you guys a quick example. So if we go to Pinterest, right? And say I'm a streetwear brand and I want to create a hoodie. Right? I'm not going to really look for, when it comes to the design of the hoodie, it's totally up to you. I don't know about your brand. I don't know your vision. So I don't know how you want your design to be made. But when it comes to the actual product, right? Say you want to make a hoodie. So we're going to go to Pinterest and type in maybe streetwear hoodie. Now, when we type in streetwear hoodie, we're going to get a bunch of different options that you see, a bunch of different brands that are creating hoodies. Now, as you can see, every single one of these hoodies is unique, all right? There's something unique about them. As you see, this hoodie right here has distressed holes with the distress on the hood. And then this hoodie right here has an open neck area where the hood could be a lot more bigger, right? With some distressing and a nice little wash gray colorway. Now, when you're creating your hoodie, you want to take different aspects from different brands and create it into your own product. You don't want to just go on Pinterest and say, okay, boom, 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 boom. I like this hoodie right here. I'm going to take the entire concept of this hoodie and just slap my logo on it. That is not ideal. I do not recommend that for your clothing brand. Please do not do that. You want to simply just go on Pinterest, type in maybe streetwear hoodie or streetwear t-shirt or luxury hoodie, whatever niche that you're trying to get into, and just scroll. Right? I take at least 1 to 2 hours a day scrolling on Pinterest, Instagram, Google, and all those type of resources to look for inspiration. So if you're creating a hoodie, say I like this hoodie right here. I like where right here where it says dopamine, right? How it's really tucked under, how the name dopamine is kind of tucked under behind the pocket. You can't really see the whole name, but you can see what it says as the top part is visible. I like that. I would like that for my brand. So my brand is called Be Special. So I would take that concept right there where the name is behind the pocket and put my brand logo there, right? That's just the first thing that I would do with that hoodie. Okay, cool. I'm scrolling. Okay, let's go back to this gray hoodie. I like how this gray hoodie has a cut right on the neck area, right? It's not like a normal hoodie. It's more of like a cut, and the hoodie flaps are kind of more flared out. So I like that. I'm gonna take that for my brand. So far I have 2 aspects that I've taken for my hoodie. The first one is my logo behind the pocket, and the second one is the flared, cut off neck, flared hood on the hoodie as well. Okay, cool. So let's take one more aspect, scrolling through Pinterest, right? So I'm scrolling, boom. Wow, I see a group of washed hoodies, and I love the colors. I love the colors of these washed hoodies. I'm gonna pick one. Let's say I like the red one. So I'm scrolling. I'm gonna scroll down. Boom. So I have the color of the red one right here. super fire. I'm gonna take that same color and put it for my hoodie. So now I've taken 3 aspects and turned it into one product for my brand. I took the acid wash from this hoodie, I took the logo idea from another hoodie, and I took the hood cut off neck area from another hoodie. Let's do one more. Okay, boom, boom, I'm looking. Okay, cool. I like this hoodie with the holes, right? I like the distress holes on the hoodie, and I like the distress right here on the sleeve and the pocket. So I think I'm gonna take that as well for my product. So I've taken 4 aspects for my hoodie and turned it into one. So I have my holes, my distress holes on my hoodie. I have my logo kind of cut off from the pocket. I have the distress cut off neck with the flared hood. And I have the exact color that I want, which is this red acid wash right here. So that is how you take inspiration and turn it into your own product. A lot of you will go on Instagram, go on Pinterest, go on Google and see a product that you like and say, oh, I like that. I'm gonna just take the design off and put my own design. That is not ideal when starting a clothing brand, y'all. Like, be creative, y'all. Be unique. And this is not even like, and that was super easy for me to do, right? That'll be super easy for you guys to do. Just simply take certain aspects from different hoodies from different brands and put it into your own product, but still try to relate it to your niche and to the vision of your brand. You can even create a burner account on TikTok or IG. Follow all the top brands in your niche and let the algorithm feed you nothing but brand content. That way, you're always seeing fresh designs, creative visuals, and marketing ideas daily, all in your lane. You don't want to do the market research on your personal page, because on your personal page you have a bunch of BS, celebrities, streamers, just a bunch of resources that are distracting you from your goals. So when I first started my brand, I made sure that I made a burner account on every single platform. And when I decided that I wanted to lock in and get some work done, I made sure that I got on that burner account and simply just scrolled. I saved and I scrolled. I saved, I scrolled. I liked, I saved, I scrolled. Like, save, scroll. Like, save, scroll. And I was training the algorithm of this burner account to only see the things that are going to make me better. A lot of you guys are trying to do this, but with accounts that are already trained within the algorithm of BS. So you want to make sure that you create a burner account that keeps you fully locked in with no distractions. The burner account is important because your original personal account is full of distractions, celebrities, streamers, brain-rotting content that doesn't help you, only entertains you. The burner account will only keep you locked in, as you will only see content that helps you. At the end of the day, and this is what I told one of my students as well that joined my program, he was constantly doing his market research, but he was doing it on his personal page. And I told him, yeah, it might work, but every time that you scroll, you might scroll upon some BS or, something that distracts you. And once it distracts you, you're fully distracted and not totally locked into what you have to do. So I always tell my students, when you decide to dedicate yourself to this, to creating a business, to creating a clothing brand and building something for yourself, you have to be fully locked in. This is a mindset thing. So this burner account will keep your mindset fully focused on what your goals are. Now let me go back to the copying aspect of inspiration. Let me be clear. Don't copy bar for bar. Taking inspiration is one thing, but straight up copying someone else's brand, designs, or style is only just corny, and you won't get too far. The market can spot a copycat from miles away. You'll always be playing catch up and your brand won't have any real identity. Instead, you want to study what's working, pull pieces that resonate with you, and then put your own spin onto it. That's how you create something that stands out and actually lasts. So let me give you guys an example of a brand that totally copied me. This is my brand tee right here. As you can see on the front, it says, "That move you're scared to make might be the one." On the back, it has my brand, Be Special, across the shoulders, right? One of my most best-selling products that made me over 6 figures, a shirt that pretty much everyone has seen. Now let me show you guys the brand that fully copied me A to Z, bar for bar. I don't know what this brand is called, but I was sent this in my DM a couple months ago, and I was just like, come on now. So as you can see, the front of, I don't know what the front of the shirt says. Stop following the crowd, lost something. I guess they have their brand name across the shoulders here. So if you go back to my brand, and then you go to their brand, you can basically see the exact same concept, A to Z, bar for bar. Now, don't get me wrong, they did change the words, but the cut of the shirt, the wash of the shirt, and the placement of the words and the brand name is literally the same thing. If you put his shirt next to mine, people are gonna say, yes, he copied him A to Z, bar for bar. Simple as that. Like, Please do not do this. You will not last as a clothing brand. Now, let's talk about design. Once you gather inspiration from brands in your niche, it's time to move into the design phase. Before we talk tools and tactics, let's break down the mindset behind a great design. You need to create products that already have a proof of concept. Look at what's performing well in your niche and use that as your starting point. This is basically supply and demand. If the market is rocking with something that's heavy right now, like jorts this past summer, that's a signal. Build your designs around trends the market is already showing love to. So let's go back to the jorts. Right now we're in 2025. Back in 2024, jorts went absolutely crazy. Every single brand was doing jorts. If you had a clothing brand and you didn't produce jorts, you simply were leaving money on the table. I believe in 2025, jorts are gonna be even bigger this summer. But the thing is, because so many brands produce jorts in 2024, you have to come a little bit different in 2025 with your jort because it was so oversaturated back in 2024. I believe still this summer, 2025, and maybe even 2026, jorts and just denim in general are gonna be your winners. Now, because jorts are trending right now, why not make jorts for your brand? But put your own spin onto it. Do not copy a pair of jorts from another brand. Now here's the hard truth. Throwing your logo on a t-shirt or a sweatsuit isn't going to cut it anymore. That might have worked in 2017, but today's consumer needs more than just your brand name slapped on a blank. And I know what some of you guys are thinking, but Supreme and Balenciaga do that. Yeah, that's because their brand logos actually mean something. Their brands actually carry weight. They've built emotional value, credibility, and culture over the years. Right now, your logo means nothing to the customer. It might mean something to you, but the buyer just doesn't care yet. So stop trying to build your brand off your logo alone. Nobody wants to look like a walking billboard unless that billboard stands for something. Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, Gucci, Nike, Under Armour, all of those brands actually mean something to the consumer because that brand has brought value, trust, credibility. You as a brand owner watching this video right now, your logo and brand name mean nothing to the consumer. You haven't built any value. You haven't built trust. You haven't built credibility. So why should someone buy a blank t-shirt with your logo on it when they can buy a blank t-shirt with the Under Armour logo on it, the Nike logo on it, the Gucci logo on it, right? A brand that they've already spent money with, that they see all the time on celebrities, athletes, influencers. You can get to that level, but where you are right now, just slapping your logo on a sweatsuit or a t-shirt is just not gonna cut it for you. The key is to create unique designs that still align with what the market wants, right? That's the sweet spot. Back in 2024 and even in 2025, rhinestones are going crazy right now. If you're putting rhinestones on your garments as a brand owner, you're winning because you know that rhinestones are trending right now. Everybody's putting rhinestones on everything. Jorts, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Rhinestones are just an eye catcher, right? When someone's wearing an all over rhinestone hoodie and walking down the street, the rhinestones are shining. The sun is shining on the rhinestones. It's an eye catcher. People are seeing it and it's like, wow, what is that? Where'd you get that hoodie from? You know? You also want to design seasonally. This matters more than people realize. So for the winter, you want to think hoodies, heavy denim, sweats, jackets, thermals. In the summer, you want to think about t-shirts, jorts, mesh shorts, button-ups, jerseys. There's no point of dropping shorts in the middle of winter unless your audience lives in Miami. Be strategic. Your brand can be creative, but it still has to make money at the end of the day. So design based on what people are wearing right now. Like I said earlier in the video, you're not gonna be the next Virgil tomorrow. Take what's trending and take that aspect and put it into your own product. Now, if you're watching this video and saying, well, what's trending? I don't know what's trending. I don't know. Do your market research. I told you guys about that burner account. Create the burner account and follow every single brand in your niche that is successful and creating products that are trending. Now let's talk about the first step to design. Start by creating mockups. You don't need to be a pro designer for this. In fact, I've made it easier for you. Join my free Discord, which is the second link in the description, and head to the mockups tab. You'll find free, realistic mockups for tees, hoodies, jorts, jerseys, everything you need to start designing. Pick the mockup that you want. Let's say it's a jacket. Then bring your design to life using a free tool called Photopea. It's basically like Photoshop, but it's online for free. If you want to level up later, invest in real Photoshop. If you're on an iPad, I recommend Procreate too. Even if you're not a designer, just practicing with these mockups helps you visualize your ideas and communicate better with professionals down the line. Now, say you just don't have time to create your own mockups. Say, your life outside of creating your business is so busy, whether you have kids, a job, family, whatever it is, right? I'm gonna give you guys some game. Should you hire a designer or design it yourself? That part is important. Some people say that you have to design your own stuff. Others say always hire someone. The truth is, it's a spectrum. You should at least know how to design, or at minimum, how to express your ideas. That way you're not stuck waiting on a designer to bring your vision to life or wasting money on something that doesn't match your idea. I still hire designers now, but I always knew how to design. That means I can tweak things, give better direction, and make sure the final result matches my brand's vibe. Even learning design for 1 to 2 days will give you an edge. Like I said, if you're someone that has a busy life outside of creating your own business or running your own business, and you have a family, kids, job, whatever it is outside of this, and you don't really have time to sit there and design your own products, this is what I do. I have a team full of graphic designers, and if you are looking for graphic designers, it is in my free Discord. And what I've learned running my business for the last 4 years, that money will make you go places faster. If I know how to express my ideas and know exactly what I want, I can express those ideas to my graphic designer, and they can bring my mock-up to life within 24 to 48 hours. Although I gotta pay them maybe $40 to $50, I'm able to get my mock-up done in 24 to 48 hours and then start getting my sample made with my manufacturer maybe a few days later. Compared to another clothing brand owner or that's sitting on their iPad or on the computer trying to design one t-shirt for weeks on end. I've always learned that money will make you go places faster. If you have the financials to pay for a graphic designer, that's highly recommended. Just make sure you're bringing them your own ideas, your own inspiration, and really explaining to the graphic designer exactly what you want. And then they can bring it to life within, again, a shorter amount of time than a clothing brand owner trying to figure out how to design on their own. Now, with that being said, I still recommend you guys to learn how to design on your own and learn how to create your own mockups. Eventually, you always want to make that gradual improvement of creating your own mockups and designs, because at the end of the day, that's the cheaper route. That's the cheapest route to go to when owning a clothing brand, right? If you know how to design your own products, you don't have to pay any graphic designers to do it for you. But in this state that you are at right now, starting your clothing brand, I suggest if you have the financials, pay a graphic designer and get your mockup done within 48 hours. Instead of sitting there on your computer for weeks on end, struggling, overwhelming yourself, trying to design one shirt when the next clothing brand owner is getting designs made within 48 hours, multiple designs, while you're sitting there trying to design for weeks. All right, now let's talk about trusted graphic designers. We want to make sure you guys don't get scammed. If you do hire a designer, please don't pick a random IG account. The scam rate is very, very high out there. That's why I created a vetted designer list in the Discord. These people I've worked with or my students trust. I personally use avart.std or scientist.png. The students in my inner circle mentorship get access to a free in-house designer where they're able to get their designs made for free for their clothing brand. On top of that, they're able to use my personal designers as well. We've got people for every niche. Just go to the designer tab in the Discord. These designers also have pre-made designs. So graphic designers will create pre-made designs and sell them on their Instagram page. These are designs that no clothing brand has used. So you can simply go on these graphic designers pages and pay for one of their pre-made designs, and all you have to do is change the brand name to your brand name. Or you can contact the graphic designer and create a whole new product based off your inspiration. But no matter what, be clear with your references. A picture speaks louder than words. Avoid sketchy designers that have their comments turned off, designers with no real client work, designs that feel copied off Pinterest, designers that haven't worked with any known brands. Some recently exposed scammer graphic designers is missingfiles.std. Do not work with him. Good graphic designers have their comments turned on, have active stories and posts and highlights, have unique and quality work, and have testimonials from actual brands and brand owners that they've worked with. Now let's break down the designer script and the price. Before messaging a graphic designer, understand the ballpark prices. Single designs are anywhere between $50 to $100, and that depends on the complexity of your design. Full collections are anywhere between $300 to $500 plus, and full collections will include multiple different products, hoodies, hats, jackets, shirts, sweatsuits, whatever it is. If you're not trying to drop that type of cash on a graphic designer, go ahead and DM me SS on Instagram, where you're able to learn on how to join my inner circle and get access to top tier designs for completely free. This will save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Inside my free Discord, I've also included a free DM script for reaching out to designers. Just copy, paste, and adjust to your needs. This script is basically helping you out contacting graphic designers the right way. It helps you negotiate, avoid scams, and get exactly what you want. Now, when it comes to these graphic designers, you don't have to just settle with the first design that they come back with. So you're going back and forth with the graphic designer, you send them your inspiration and exactly what you want, and they send back to you the design. Say the design is just something that you really want. Maybe you want to make a few adjustments. You have the right to make revisions. Tell the graphic designer, hey, I don't like this. Hey, I don't like that. Hey, can you adjust this to that and put this here, whatever it is. All right, you have the right to make revisions. Now let's talk about market testing. Once your design is done, ask people in your niche what they think. But here's the catch. Don't ask your friends and the people around you. They might lie to spare your feelings, or they might just hate to hate. Your best bet, get feedback from other brand owners or the Discord community in my description. But also be careful of the confirmation bias, that feeling where you only seek feedback to justify what you already want to believe. Don't just look for people to agree with you. Look for real insight. At the end of the day, you need to have an eye to know what's fire. But getting outside perspectives only helps you sharpen that eye. Now, let's talk about products, because this part gets misunderstood a lot. Your product and brand identity story are equally important. You can't have one without the other. But let me break it down for you in a way that makes sense. Think about dating. You might see a girl that looks fire, great style, catches your attention, right? That's the product. But what makes you actually want to stay, build something, or actually take her seriously is the personality, her style, her vibe. That's the brand identity. A good product brings people in, but your story, the why behind your brand, is what keeps them coming back. Let me give you an example. Be Special, my brand. It's more than just a clothing line. It's a motivational movement. Every design, every detail, every quote is rooted in pushing people to feel seen, special, and different in a world that tries to make everyone seem the same. That's the personality. That's what people connect with emotionally. But here's the mistake I've seen a lot of brand owners make. Like 50% of you guys. You got a powerful story, an inspiring mission, something you deeply care about, but the product sucks. Like, I get it. Your brand is built off purpose, but the designs are lazy. The quality is mid, and you wonder why nobody's buying. Having a story matters, but if your pieces are weak, nobody's gonna care long enough to hear your story. This is why you have to curate your product first. Make sure your product is fire. Make sure it's unique. Make sure it's something eye-catching so that when someone is scrolling on Instagram, and they pop up on your page and they see the product, now they're interested in the brand story. Now they're interested in actually purchasing from the brand. On the flip side, if your product is amazing and has no identity, then you're just another trending brand with no real substance. You might catch some eyes, but you won't build community or loyalty. The real game is when you combine both. A fire product that looks and feels premium, and a story that resonates so deeply that it makes people proud to wear it. That's when your brand actually starts to mean something. So as you're building your designs and collections, ask yourself, would someone buy this even if they didn't know my story? And also, would someone wear this proudly because of my story? If you can answer yes to both, you're on the right path. Let me give you a real life example of how product and story together can change the game. This is the shirt that made me over 6 figures. It has a simple phrase: that move you're scared to make might be the one. That tee went viral for one reason. It sparked a feeling. It created a conversation in people's heads. Because deep down, everyone has something they've been sitting on. A business that they're scared to start. Maybe one of you guys that are watching this video right now. A job they want to quit. A DM that they haven't sent. A risk that they haven't taken. And when they read the shirt, it hits them. Like, damn, maybe that move I've been overthinking can actually change my life. That's not just a design. That's a message. That's Be Special. A brand that's built around making people feel something. Now, not only did I take a quote that resonates with maybe 90% of the people in this world, but I also took trending aspects in the clothing brand space and pertained it to my product. As you can see on this product, it's cropped and has oversized sleeves. That was trending when I first made the product about a year ago. The acid wash finish on this t-shirt as well. That was another trending aspect that was trending when I first made this product. So I was able to take aspects that were currently trending in the clothing brand space, create it into one product, and on top of that, I created a quote on the front of the shirt that resonates with, again, 90% of people in this world that are contemplating on a move that can possibly change their life. On top of that, I put every single word of this quote on the front of the shirt. Usually you would see the quote on the back of the shirt. But to create controversy, to create conversation, to create a confusion a little bit, I decided to put the quote on the front of the shirt. Right? Something that's odd, something that's not seen every day. See, the reason why this tee worked wasn't just the font or the colors. It was the meaning behind it. It turned a shirt into a mirror. People saw their own situation in it. And because the product looked so good and the message hit so well, they felt proud to wear it. That's what I mean when I say product and identity go hand in hand. You can't just throw out a deep quote and expect it to sell. But you also can't just drop a cool graphic with no meaning and expect people to connect with it. Your product should speak. It should start internal conversations. And when it does, that's when your brand stops being just clothes and starts being something that people can actually live by. Now let's talk about Techpack. This is something that most new brand owners completely overlook. The Techpack. Now let's just go into what is a Techpack. A Techpack is basically the blueprint of your product. It's a clear documentation that tells your manufacturer exactly what you want made, from sizing, fabrics, stitching, trims, all the way down to the placements of your logo. Think of it like this. You shouldn't build a house without a blueprint, right? Same goes for clothing. If you send your manufacturer a half-baked idea or a long, messy paragraph over WhatsApp, you're asking for a bad sample. And once that sample comes out wrong, you've wasted time, money, and momentum. Now let's just go into the Techpack mindset. Approach your Techpack like a real designer, even if you're just starting out. You might think, I don't know how to draw, or I'm not a fashion school student. None of that matters. You just need to be clear, specific, and detailed. Remember, your manufacturer probably doesn't even speak fluent English, so don't rely on words alone. Rely on visuals. The more reference photos, diagrams, and measurements you give, the more accurate your sample will be. Now let's talk about where to find size charts for your brand. A lot of you brand owners constantly DM me asking me for, hey, do you have a size chart for this shirt? Do you have a size chart for this denim? Do you have a size chart for these shorts? And one way to find size charts for your clothing brand is looking at other brands' size charts. So you can simply go on other brands' websites and look at their size charts and simply take that size chart and send it to your manufacturer. Let me just give you guys a quick example real quick. We're gonna go to the Fear of God website and we're gonna go to just any product, right? Let's just go to, looks like they have a collection called Eternal, and we're just gonna go to, let's just go to this hoodie right here. So you can go to your favorite brand's website or a brand that's in your niche and simply go to their website, and you can see right here it says size chart, right? So all I have to do is click size chart, and I can literally take this same size chart that Fear God is using, send it to my manufacturer, and use the same exact size chart that Fear God is using for your clothing brand. All right, it's super simple. So again, go to brands you admire and check their websites. Most of them have detailed size charts for hoodies, tees, and shorts. Screenshot those size charts as your base. Number 2, ask fellow brand owners. If you know someone that's already making products, ask if they're willing to share their size chart. A lot of people in the space are open to helping. Now, number 3, and this is what I do now currently as a brand owner. I measure my favorite garment. So I simply grab a hoodie or a t-shirt or a pair of pants that is in my closet that I already wear from another brand, and I make sure I buy one of these. So you wanna make sure you grab a measuring tape. You can grab one from the dollar store literally, or Home Depot, or one of your house supply stores or whatever. So you wanna make sure you get you a measuring tape, right? And find your favorite garment in your closet. And all you have to do is simply ask your manufacturer, say, hey, I have a garment in my closet I want the exact fit of. What measurements do you need? Your manufacturer will send you the exact measurements they need, and all you have to do is take your measuring tape and measure the sections that they need. So for instance, they will send you that they need a measurement for the length of the hoodie, right? And that's from the top of the shoulder to the bottom of the hoodie. So all you have to do, take your measuring tape, put it to the tip of the shoulder, bring it all the way down to the bottom, and if, say it's, 23 inches, you wanna write that down and make sure you let your manufacturer know. And then obviously you're gonna measure every single other aspect that your manufacturer is looking for. So again, use a measuring tape, write down the chest, width, body, length, inseam, whatever it is, and then boom, you just created your own size chart. So number 3 is actually like one of the best and safest way to go about creating a size chart, because when you do it like that, there's no mistakes. When you're grabbing size charts from other brands' websites, it may not come out exactly how you want to. And I've experienced that on my own as a brand owner. Number 3 would probably be the best outcome for you. Simply just measuring your own garments. Find something you like in your closet that you want the same fit of for your brand and measure it yourself. Now, what do you include in your Techpack? You include the name of your product, the product type, a flat sketch of the mockup, a logo or design placement, sizing, which is your size chart and measurements, fabric type, and stitching details, your color codes, and even any special notes that you want to relay to your manufacturer. If this sounds overwhelming, don't worry. Inside my free Discord, which is the link in the description, I've got a free Techpack template that you can start with. You can fill in the blanks and customize it as your ideas get more advanced. Also, on my YouTube channel, I showed you guys exactly how to create a Techpack for your clothing brand. So as you see, we scroll down. And right here on this video, as you can see, I have a video on my YouTube channel that says how to make the perfect Techpack for your clothing brand. So I show you exactly step by step on how to create your Techpack for your brand, and I also provide that free template Techpack for your brand in my Discord. I would show you guys step by step on how to make the Techpack in this video, but the video will be literally 4 to 5 hours long. So if you want to know step by step on how to create your Techpack for your clothing brand, go ahead and tap in with this video right here on my YouTube channel. Now, let me tell you guys how important the Techpack is. I've had so many instances where I would order a sample, y'all, and I would wait 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks for this sample, and it will come back and the sizing is completely off, y'all. And that's something that you can't market. You've waited this long for this sample, expecting to market it, eventually build the hype, and eventually drop the same product. But when it comes back, the legs are too tight, the sleeves are too tight, the hood is too small, whatever it is, and now you're not even able to even market your sample. So now you have to adjust your sample and wait another 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks for the sample to get made, right? So that is how important the Techpack is. Now, if you get a sample back and the fit of it is perfect, and maybe the design is a little bit off, that is something that you can still market. But you can't market a product that is completely off with the size chart, because that's not something that you want to sell to your customer. You want to make sure that your product fits well on how you want it and how you want to relay it to your customer. So you want to make sure that you really double down on your Techpack, y'all. Like, do not skip this step. Do not be lazy with your Techpack. You want to make sure that you are over explaining and extremely detailed when it comes to your Techpack to your manufacturer. You don't want to waste time when it comes to this. You don't want to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks for your sample to come in and the size chart is completely off. My best advice is to operate with option 3 and literally grabbing that measuring tape, y'all, and measuring your own garment, man, so you don't have to worry about that size chart coming back the wrong way, all right? Now, final word when it comes to your Techpack. Here's the truth. If your sample comes out trash, it's probably not your manufacturer's fault. It's yours, because you're not giving them the right direction. So take your time and do this right. A clean Techpack saves you weeks on back and forth, money on remakes, and makes you look more professional, even if you're just starting. Treat your brand like it's already big, because the better the blueprint, the better the outcome. Now, let's talk about manufacturing, all right? So you have your design, you have your mock-up, you have your Techpack, and you're ready to finally get a sample from your manufacturer. Now that your designs are ready, it's time to finally bring them to life. And that means working with the manufacturer. I know a couple of you brand owners are watching this video that are sitting on mock-ups, sitting on hundreds and hundreds of mock-ups and never getting samples made. If I could show you something right here, I will show you right there. If you can see that rack right there that you see, that rack right there is full of samples. That rack right there that you just saw is full of samples from my clothing brand. And the reason why I get on a lot of my students for sitting on mock-ups and not getting the sample made is because I have a rack right there full of samples right now. I could take one of those samples off the rack and simply start marketing it for my clothing brand and getting ready for a drop. While you're sitting on mock-ups, and if you decide, okay, maybe one day that you want to get this mock-up made and, you know, drop it for your clothing brand, you have to send the mock-up, Techpack, size chart to your manufacturer and get the sample made. That means you have to wait an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks while I already have the sample sitting on my rack, ready to go, ready to market, and ready to drop. So before we dive into the technical steps, let's get your mindset right. Because if your mindset is off during this stage, you're going to struggle. You need to come into manufacturing confident, expecting to get the best quality, best pricing, and nothing for less. Act like your brand deserves it, because it does. When I first started, I had major imposter syndrome. I used to think I'm too new, or I'm not ready for manufacturers yet, so let me just do vinyl. And trust me, that was the worst decision of my life. That mindset held me back for almost a year. You gotta think about it, y'all. Vinyl, you have to wait for a machine, right? This machine cuts out your design. Once you peel the design off, you have to take your heat press, take your shirt, take the design, heat press it onto the t-shirt, right? The design might not be ready the first time, so you gotta heat press it again, and that's how I was making my shirts. That process right there took me about 15 to 20 minutes just to make one t-shirt. I thought working with manufacturers was only for big brands, but I realized that to get to high level results, I needed to use high level resources. So trust me, even if you're just starting out, you don't have to settle. You can go straight to the source and get what you need if you approach it the right way. Most clothing brands work with manufacturers from Pakistan or China. So here's a quick breakdown of both. Let's talk about Pakistan. Pakistan has cheaper pricing and faster turnaround times, right? Pakistan, there's also no MOQ. So when you're working with Pakistan, you can order 5, 10, 15, 20 pieces and consider it like a mini bulk order. Also, Pakistan has really cheap samples. So you can get samples from anywhere between like $50 to $100. Now, some of the cons with Pakistan. There's a higher risk of scams if you choose the wrong one. Also, quality can be inconsistent unless you communicate clearly. Pakistan's communication also is a little bit off. So that's why you have to find the right manufacturer. There are a lot of Pakistan manufacturers on Instagram that are trying to work with you, trying to take your money, and acting like they're your friend. A lot of these Pakistan manufacturers are here to scam you. So that's why you have to find reliable and trusted Pakistan manufacturers that will obviously not scam you and do really, really good work. Now, I know you guys are probably watching this video like, how do I find those manufacturers? In my free Discord, I have free Pakistan manufacturers that you can work with. Also, in my inner circle community, I have my personal Pakistan manufacturer that I work with to this day that I share with my students. So again, if you're interested in joining the mentorship, all you have to do is hit that first link in the description and DM me SS. Now let's talk about China. China is gonna be the best route you wanna go, but it's financially costly. Now, some of the pros, they're more reliable and they have the highest of quality. Everything gets made in China. Every single item in your living room, in your house that you're wearing is made in China, right? All of the big brands get their merchandise made in China. So you are basically getting your clothes made from the actual source. But in order to get your clothes made from the actual source with the proper quality, the proper communication, and the proper craftsmanship, you're gonna have to pay the fee. China is one of those pay-to-play type of games. Now, although they have the best quality, the best communication, and the best craftsmanship, here are some of the cons about China. It's more expensive and they have slower shipping due to holidays and backlog. Also, let's talk Trump's new tariff law. Trump has added an extra 105% on tariffs from China all the way to the United States. That means your bulk order or your sample will be taxed an extra 105% going from China imported into the US. Trump's motive for this new tariff law is to so-called save American businesses and help American businesses, and also stop drugs from coming into the United States. Also, I believe that Trump doesn't have the best relationship with China. But I also believe that, we get a lot of our resources from China. So with this trade war going on, I don't think it's gonna last long, because with a lot of our resources coming from China, there has to be something that has to give. 105% extra tariff on imports from China to the US is absolutely insane. But because this tariff law has only been going on for a few months now, I don't believe that it's gonna last too much longer. Now, how can we avoid Trump's new tariff law? There's a few options. If you're getting your merchandise made in China, see if your manufacturer can reroute your package to another country all the way back into the US. So for instance, one of my manufacturers from China is going to reroute my package and then go from Hong Kong to the United States. So that will decrease the amount of tariffs that I would have to pay on my package coming into the US. Also, some of my manufacturers are requiring me to pay the extra tariff. So my best advice to you guys that are afraid of Trump's new tariff law, or feel like that you can't operate your clothing brand because of all these extra costs, simply just ask your manufacturer, hey, what are you doing about Trump's new tariff law? How are we going to continue to operate my clothing brand with this new law that is enforced? Just communicate with your manufacturer, hop on the phone with them, hop on a voice call, hop on a video call, and see how you two can kind of come together and see how you can decrease the amount of tariffs that you will have to pay from the imports to China to the US. So which one is better? It depends on your budget and what you value more. If you want speed and a good price, you go with Pakistan. If you want consistency and great quality, you want to go with China. If you're on a tight budget, Pakistan isn't a bad option. But if you have a little more to invest, I recommend going with China. Pakistan is a good country to work with when you're first starting out with your brand and you don't have much capital. Pakistan's quality isn't too bad, it's okay. I would say it does get the job done, but as you start to evolve as a clothing brand, you want to start to also evolve your quality of your products. And as you start to evolve, that's when you start to go to China. If you're a startup brand, Pakistan is okay. It's not bad. You just have to find the right Pakistan manufacturer that will actually do the job correctly. All right. Like I said, there's a lot of Pakistan manufacturers out there that are looking to scam you and take your money. So make sure when you're dealing with Pakistan, you want to make sure you are finding the right manufacturer. Now let's talk finding a manufacturer. Let's talk through the process using China as an example. So step one, you want to head to Alibaba. Now I know what you're thinking. What if you get scammed? That's why I made it easy for you. Inside my free Discord, I got a full list of verified manufacturers I personally use when I first started my brand. Whether you're looking for denim, hoodies, tees, headwear, or even bags and footwear. All you have to do is head to the manufacturers tab in my Discord, pick one that matches your product type, and you're good to go. Scam free and trusted. If you still want to do it yourself, all you have to do is go on Alibaba, and I'm going to show you exactly how to find the best manufacturer. So we're going to go to Alibaba.com. Right, and this is where you start. Say we're looking for an oversized cropped hoodie. All right. Now, when you first type it in, as you can see, it says showing 20,000 products from global suppliers for oversized cropped hoodie. Now you're gonna find a bunch of different suppliers and different hoodies that these suppliers create. Now, before you start searching and looking for the right manufacturer, there's a couple of different settings that you want to do. So number one is going to be trade assurance. You want to make sure that you check trade assurance on the Alibaba website. Now, what trade assurance does, it protects your orders from Alibaba.com. So if you ever get scammed from a manufacturer on Alibaba, you're able to get your money back with trade assurance. Now, A lot of manufacturers on Alibaba don't do trade assurance, and those are manufacturers that you don't want to work with. Make sure you check trade assurance on Alibaba.com. Next, you want to hit verified supplier. So when you hit verified supplier, these are the suppliers that have been in business for years, y'all. Not the new manufacturers that have just came on the market, right? You want to work with the vets. And then if you're only looking for manufacturers in China, you want to scroll down and make sure you click the box that says China. So we have trade assurance, verified supplier, and the exact country that we need. So now all you're gonna do is simply scroll and just find some hoodies that pertain to your brand, pertain to your mock-up, pertain to something that you actually want to get done. All right, so you're scrolling, right? You're scrolling, and boom, right? So say you find a hoodie, and this hoodie right here looks like kind of like the wash on the hoodie that I showed you guys earlier in the video that I was gonna make for my brand. So say I like this hoodie. Okay, we got a manufacturer from, looks like the name of the manufacturer is Zenganzu Yingsa Clothing Co. Okay, cool, they're verified. They've been in business for about 2 years, and they also have trade assurance, which is good, right? Okay, cool, we start scrolling. We're kind of looking at, okay, they have secure payments, easy return and refund. Okay, we're scrolling. They have their certifications right here. So this is really good, y'all. You want to make sure that your manufacturer has these certifications to show that they're a verified supplier. Okay, we're scrolling. Okay, looks like this manufacturer has product reviews. And this product review is pretty recent, right? February 3rd, 2025. So it looks like this customer said the product came in on time. The quality is amazing. I hope to do more. And they attached some photos. Looks like we're going to look through the photos here. Okay, looks good. These are the photos from the customer. Nice, looks good, nice quality, nice wash on it. Simply passes the test for me. We're gonna now chat with this manufacturer. So all you wanna do is hit chat now, right? You don't wanna hit start order, because if you hit start order, that means you're gonna buy some blanks from this manufacturer. You don't wanna do that. And when you hit chat now, you're gonna see that you're gonna get connected to an agent called, looks like his name is Tom Lee. This agent right here is a middleman that communicates with you and the factory. So the reason why Alibaba has middlemen is because of the communication barrier, the language barrier. So this agent knows how to speak English properly, and they can communicate with you well. But the workers in the factory don't know English too well. So that's why Alibaba has created agents or middlemen to communicate with you and the factory. So it looks like this middleman his name is Tom Lee. So we simply want to send him a message. Again, before you guys communicate with your manufacturers, before you guys do anything with your manufacturer when it comes to, trying to get an order made or trying to get a sample done, you want to make sure that you have your mock-up and your tech pack complete. Like all the way complete, to the size charts, to the trims, to the logo placements, everything that you need for your product. You want to make sure that's complete before you contact your manufacturer. So we're gonna hit up Tom Lee and we're gonna say, hello, I have a clothing brand and I'm looking to start a sample, or we're gonna say a hoodie sample. I'm looking to start a hoodie sample, right? And here are some questions that you wanna ask the manufacturer. First, I want to know, what is your MOQ? MOQ being minimum order quantity. What is the minimum order quantity that I can order with your factory? What is your MOQ? What is the turnaround time for a sample? And then after that, you want to make sure you include the photos of your tech pack and your mock-up so you can show the agent exactly what you want to get made. Now that you have sent that chat to the agent, you don't want to just hit up one manufacturer and kind of limit yourself. You want to make sure that you contact multiple manufacturers and literally do the same thing. Make sure they're a verified supplier, make sure they have trade assurance, and literally all you have to do is copy and paste the same exact message that you're sending to every other manufacturer. I recommend testing about 4 to 5 manufacturers depending on how many products you want to get made. So if you just want to get one hoodie made, okay, we're going to test out about 4 to 5 different hoodie manufacturers. But if you're trying to get like a hoodie and a t-shirt made, okay, now we're going to test out maybe 4 to 5 hoodie manufacturers and then 4 to 5 t-shirt manufacturers. But just a side note, y'all, a lot of hoodie manufacturers also make t-shirts as well. So that's some other free game for you guys as well. A lot of hoodie manufacturers make t-shirts, and a lot of t-shirt manufacturers actually make hoodies. So if you're planning on making a t-shirt and a hoodie, usually the manufacturer that you're contacting can make both, which is good because at the end of the day, the end goal is to literally have 1 to 2 to maybe 3 manufacturers that make all of your products, because you don't want to have 20 to 30 different manufacturers and now you're contacting them every day, dealing with so many manufacturers with different products. You want to just keep your circle small, right? You want to keep your employees small, and if you're able to shrink down to 2 to 3 manufacturers making all your products, that's a win-win for you. So let's talk about negotiating with manufacturers. Now it's time to talk about price. And this is where your mindset matters again, because negotiating is knowing your value. Just a quick side note, when it comes to negotiating with China, there's not too much luck in it, all right? Especially when you're a new customer and this is your first time contacting the manufacturer, there's not gonna be much negotiating when it comes to it, all right? China really doesn't budge. And why doesn't China budge like that is because, again, they work with some of the biggest clothing brands in the United States, in the world, to be honest with you. They don't need your little petty like 50, 100 piece bulk orders, to be honest with you. Not to hurt your guys' feelings, but these manufacturers are working with really big brands. So when it comes to negotiating, there's not much that you can really do unless you're putting in like a 1,000 piece bulk order or 5,000 piece bulk order or a 10,000 piece bulk order, right? When it comes to negotiating with China, again, it's gonna be really, really tough. You have to build relationships, guys. That's how you get discounts on samples, free samples, discounts on bulk orders. That's how you are able to negotiate. In order for you to have the value to negotiate with a manufacturer, you have to build a relationship. And how do you build a relationship? It's simply by putting in orders, working with the manufacturer, getting them paid, basically, like, honestly. So again, when it comes to China, not much negotiating that you can do. But when it comes to Pakistan, all right, when it comes to Pakistan, you can get away with a little bit of negotiating, all right? So if they say, you know, the sample is $100, you could probably negotiate with like $80 to $90. Maybe you could take off about $10 to $20. So it just depends on the manufacturer. You know, Pakistan manufacturers actually work with small business owners when it comes to negotiating. When it comes to Pakistan, you can pretty much get away with the negotiating part, you know, sometimes. So just kind of think about that when it comes to negotiating. Inside my free Discord, I included a negotiation script that you can use, and make sure you ask, again, what the MOQ is, what the sample price and the shipping is, and what the bulk price and the shipping is. So when you ask for the bulk price, you want to ask them first, you want to get the MOQ first, right? So if the MOQ is 50 pieces from China, you want to ask them what the bulk price is for those 50 pieces, including shipping. You always want to include the shipping, y'all. Always. Like, anytime you ask your manufacturer how much something is, always include the shipping. Because you got to think about it. If you ask a manufacturer for a product and you ask them for the price and they give you the price and you pay that price, and then the product is completed, you know, it's completed with production, now you have to pay the shipping, you're kind of like surprised because you have to come out more money because you didn't ask for the shipping price when you first started. So always ask for the shipping price on top of whatever the product price, the sample price, bulk price, whatever it is. Now, let's talk about before you send any money to your manufacturer. You want to get on a video call with this manufacturer. And the reason why is because you want to see their workspace. You want to see if they're legit. You want to see their factory. You want to see whether or not they're a real manufacturer or they're just a scammer behind a computer screen. So before you send any money to the manufacturer, make sure you are hopping on a call. Now, sometimes when working with China, this is some information that I haven't included in my past courses. Sometimes when you're working with China and you're dealing with the middleman or the agent, they're not usually in the factory, right? They're usually in like a showroom. And what a showroom is that it's basically a room full of samples that this company has made before. So sometimes when you have a video call with the agent from China on Alibaba, they will show you the showroom. They won't really show you the factory because the factory is probably a few miles away and they can't get to the factory right now. So if they can only show you the showroom, that's okay, right? If they can't show you the whole factory, completely understand, you know, again, they're a middleman, so they're not really in the factory making the clothes. So if they're able to show you the showroom, at least have them show you the showroom. So if you hop on a video call and they say, oh, you know, we're not in the factory, boom, 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 tell them, show me the showroom then. And they will have a showroom full of samples and they can show you everything that they've done when it comes to t-shirts, hoodies, whatever they've done, they can show you on the video call. So this will relieve you from a lot of stress. You're taking out your credit card, spending your hard-earned money with this manufacturer that's thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away that you don't even know from a can of paint, and sending them your hard-earned money. So you want to make sure everything is legit. Make sure you hop on that video call with that manufacturer before you pay. Now, don't send money blindly. In the Discord, I break down how to pay properly using secure methods. That's all under the Trusted Manufacturers doc in my free Discord. So just to give you guys a quick heads up, setup, samples are expensive, all right? Don't be shocked if a single tee costs you $80 to $120. You're paying for a one-off piece plus international shipping. That's just part of the game. Y'all, I done paid maybe $400, $500, $600 for one sample from my manufacturer, y'all. So the sample game is very expensive, but it definitely, number one, it's an investment because you wanna make sure that your product is correct. And number two, samples are just a part of the game, y'all. But samples are definitely necessary because you wanna make sure that your product is correct. So you have to get a sample before you even start your bulk order. But here's a hack. Inside my inner circle, I've got a plug who creates worldwide shipping labels for $10 to $20. This can save you over $100 plus on a sample shipping alone. So if you want that access, again, all you have to do is DM me SS on Instagram right now and we could talk. Also, when it comes to video calls with your manufacturer, if you're dealing with a Pakistan manufacturer, video calls are absolutely important, y'all. Like, do not skip that step when it comes to working with a Pakistan manufacturer. As I told you guys earlier in the video, a lot of scammers come from Pakistan, but I'm not saying every single Pakistan manufacturer is a scam, right? There are really good, really legitimate Pakistan manufacturers out there, but you want to make sure that you verify them the right way by getting on that video call. So when it comes to Pakistan manufacturers as well, you want to make sure that you hop on that video call like ASAP, right? Before you send any type of money to the manufacturer. And also, when you're sending money to a Pakistan manufacturer, you want to use the app called Remitly, Remitly, right? It's called Remitly. It's a blue icon on your iPhone. That app is the most secure app that you can use to pay your Pakistan manufacturers. Western Union, I wouldn't really recommend. I only use Western Union for my Pakistan manufacturers that I actually really trust. But when it comes to working with new Pakistan manufacturers, just use Remitly. All right, don't use Ria. Don't use no Apple Pay or Cash App. Don't do any of those. Use Remitly, which is the most secure app that you can use when it comes to dealing with Pakistan manufacturers. So that wraps up the manufacturer phase. This is a big step, but if you approach it with the right tools, confidence, and support, you'll be able to bring your vision to life without getting burned. Now let's talk pre-made versus pre-order drops. Before you officially launch your product, you need to decide, are you doing a pre-made drop or pre-order drop? This decision affects your inventory, shipping, cash flow, and even how people perceive your brand. So let's break it down. Let's start with pre-made drops. What are pre-made drops? You order inventory before you drop. Everything is made and sitting in hand or at a fulfillment center, ready to ship as soon as someone places an order. Basically, it's like, say I drop on Friday, I have my inventory right behind me in boxes, ready to ship. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons of pre-made drops. The pros: fast shipping, which equals happy customers. Number two, you feel like a legit business with instant gratification that you can ship next day or the same day. All right. You look more professional as a brand, as a business. It's easier to get UGC content very quickly. UGC content is basically user generated content, and that's customers, influencers, and anybody else wearing your brand besides you and your models for your photo shoots and stuff. Now let's talk about some of the cons for pre-made drops. It requires money up front because you have to have money to invest in inventory before you drop. You could risk unsold inventory, and you need to guess what sizes and quantities as well. All right, before I tell you which method is the best, let me go over the pre-order method, right? What are pre-order drops, right? You collect orders first, then pay the manufacturer only what's needed. You don't pay for inventory until you've already made sales. So that's basically saying that I have a sample, I market the sample, I drop, and then I use the money from the sales to pay my manufacturer to start getting the bulk made. Let me give you guys some pros and cons of pre-order drops. So some of the pros, right? Low risk financially. You only produce what's paid for. Number two, no unsold inventory sitting around. Number three, easier to test new product ideas. Now let's talk about some of the cons. Longer shipping time for customers, which is 2 to 4 weeks or more. You must communicate delays clearly or risk chargebacks. Less instant content UGC if you don't have samples on hand, and it can make you look small if not framed right. So when it comes to new brands, right? A lot of you guys that are watching are starting your brand or have already started your brand. And when it comes to a brand new brand, right? When you're a new brand, you want to make sure that you are building your trust and credibility first. A lot of you guys start brands and you're expecting to get that top dollar for your first product. And that's not how it's gonna go. A lot of you brands are trying to create really high-end products for your first drop and looking for a high-end price. But you're a brand new brand. Nobody knows about you, all right? You're not a Hellstar, you're not a Gucci, you're not a Louis, you're not a Nike, none of that. So you can't charge top dollar when you're a brand new brand just for the simple fact that nobody knows about you. There's no stranger that's gonna go out, pull out their credit card, spend their hard-earned money with your brand, especially if they don't know about you. So just think about that. So when it comes to pre-made and pre-order drops, I personally recommend pre-made. And the only reason why I recommend pre-made is because, like I said earlier in the video, it's fast shipping, which makes happy customers. The customer is always number one. You want to have that number one customer satisfaction when it comes to your business. Not even talking about just a brand. Your business. If you put the customer first and make sure that that customer has that satisfaction, that you're shipping instantly or you're shipping fast, they're going to continue shopping with you. You have to think about it. In this day and age, we have TikTok Shop, we have Amazon, we have different platforms where we can order products and they can come to us within the same day, overnight, or within 24 to 48 hours. So because consumers are so used to that turnaround time, they're not going to be wanting to wait for your product 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks for on a pre-order drop. You feel me? So that is why I recommend pre-made. Also, you do get UGC content pretty quickly. So you can build your brand a lot faster with a pre-made drop than a pre-order drop. Because you gotta think about it like this. If you're a brand owner doing a pre-order drop, you get the money from the sales, you pay your manufacturer. Now your customer is waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. That means you're not getting any UGC content for that span amount of time, compared to the brand owner that's doing the pre-made drop that ships instantly right after the drop. They're shipping 48 hours after. They're able to get UGC content within a week maybe, or even 2 weeks. You feel me? So think about it like that. A brand owner that's doing a pre-made drop is able to build their brand a lot faster with their trust and credibility, because they're able to post a bunch of UGC content of their customers actually wearing the merchandise, which will bring in more sales, because now other customers are seeing that, oh, other people are actually buying this brand. Okay, now I'm gonna buy from this brand. So anything skeptical about your brand goes away when you have a pre-made drop. But when you have a pre-order drop, you're sitting on people's money for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. You have them waiting, and you're not able to get that trust and credibility instantly like a pre-made drop. Now, side note, disclaimer, you can still run pre-order drops, right? There's nothing wrong with running a pre-order drop. But I'm trying to teach you guys, as a business, as a new business, building that trust and credibility is super important. So that's why I tell you the fastest way to build that trust and credibility is with the pre-made drop. Now with the pre-order drop, say you want to run a pre-order, right? You heard everything that I said, and you still want to run a pre-order because you just don't have the money up front for that inventory, which is okay. When you're running a pre-order drop, you want to make sure that your communication is A1, top notch. That should be the number one priority for you and your brand when it comes to your pre-order drop. Communication, communication, communication. And the only reason why I say that is because, again, you're having your customer wait weeks on end for this product. I already told you guys, consumers are already used to the TikTok Shop and the Amazon turnaround time. So they're not used to waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks for a product. In order to avoid chargebacks and avoid customers complaining, you have to keep that communication A1. And what does that mean? You have to communicate with your customer every single week, and keep them updated. Let them know what stage of production the product is in. And how do you do that? Communicate with your manufacturer. You're communicating with your manufacturer every single week. What stage is the product at? What stage is the product at? Every single week. Have them send you photos and video of the product while it's being made. So whatever stage of production that this product is at, if the product is at the sewing stage, you want to have your manufacturer send you a video or a photo of the factory sewing the product. Then you take that content, utilize your SMS and email list, and send out that content to your customers and let them know, hey, your product is in production right now. This is the stage that it's at. There's about 2 to 3 weeks left in production, and then as soon as it ships to our fulfillment center, it will ship out instantly. It just gives the customer some clarification and some reassurance that, okay, I'm not getting scammed. This business is legit. This brand is legit. They're updating me every single week on my product. I'm not going to charge back, or I'm not going to complain, or I'm not going to email them and ask where my order is, because they're updating me every single week. So just think about that, guys, when you're running your pre-made and pre-order drops. My best advice to you guys, and this is actually what I told one of my students that recently joined my mentorship, and he was gonna run a pre-order drop, and I told him all the pros and cons when it comes to pre-order drops and why he should run a pre-made drop. He told me, he said, I don't have the financials to run a pre-made drop. And what I told him, I was like, you have a 9-to-5 job. Double down on your 9-to-5 job, lock in with your 9-to-5 job, and any extra expenses that you're spending right now, whether you're going out every weekend with your friends, eating out, going to the mall and spending it on clothes and shoes, limit your expenses so you can save money for your pre-made drop. It's gonna help you guys in the long run. I know a lot of you guys that are watching are eager to start your brand or have already started and eager for your first drop. But when you take time and really plan it out and figure out what you wanna do the right way, it's gonna help you guys in the long run. I'm just helping you guys out. Now, just my final advice when it comes to pre-made and pre-order drops. If you're just starting out, pre-order might be your best friend. You get proof of concept without wasting money. But if you got momentum and you've had successful jobs before, you want to offer a premium experience and go pre-made. Again, like I said, if you have the financials, go pre-made. Simple as that. And if you don't have the financials, try to get money to go pre-made. Pre-order, again, is still possible, but at the same time, pre-made, it would just give your brand trust and credibility instantly. Now that we have decided which type of drop that we want to do, let's talk about building your website with Shopify. Disclaimer, before I even get into this, a lot of you brand owners or a lot of you people watching want to start your brand on like Wix or GoDaddy or some other website platform. Shopify is number one. Shopify is ideal. Shopify is recommended. Shopify is what all the big brands are using. So use Shopify. When it comes to building your website, I personally use Shopify, and honestly, so does pretty much every successful brand owner I know. It's simple, powerful, and built successfully for e-commerce. Now, before I walk you through setting it up, let's get into the mindset you need to have when it comes to creating your website. The goal is to make it as easy as possible for people to buy from you. We want the highest conversion rate possible, not the fanciest or the most artsy website. Don't overcomplicate it. Here's where most new brand owners mess up. They try to make their site super cool, crazy transitions, overly designed, but ends up confusing the customer. We want the customer to go from point A to point B, simple and direct. Like I said earlier in the video, consumers have a quick attention span. They don't have time to be sitting on your website all day looking at all the arts and crafts and all the designs and graphics that you put on your website. We want them in and out, buy and leave. If someone lands on your site already in an emotional state to buy, like we talked about earlier, McDonald's or Nike, you don't want to kill that energy. You want that emotional high to translate into quick and easy purchase. So the whole website should be designed to get them from I want this to add to cart to checkout in just a few clicks. Now, how to set up your site. Let me walk you through each part of setting it up. You start off with your password page, right? Your password page is before your drop goes live. You'll want to lock your website with the password. This builds hype and gives you time to prepare. Then you want to do your homepage layout. You can take inspiration from my website or look at any other brands that you like. And if you're thinking, wait, their site looks way different than mine, that's because you're using custom themes. Now let's just talk about themes. You don't have to pay. Just tap in with the Discord. Shopify themes can cost $180 plus each, and some high-end ones can run up to thousands if you're getting them custom made. But if you join the Discord, I got you. I've uploaded a full library of premium themes that you can download completely for free. Just go to the themes tab, download the one you like, and upload it into your store. If you're in my inner circle, there's exclusive layouts and themes in there too. Now, if you don't want to join the Discord or you don't want to pay for any Shopify themes, Shopify actually gives you a free theme called Dawn. And this is basically what Dawn is right here. I'm using an example from one of my students, and it's a simple website, y'all. Like super clean, super simple website. It's a great website for beginners, right? It's a great website for beginning brand owners, and it's simple and to the point. I really like Dawn. I used Dawn when I first started, but like I said, it's a beginner website. You know, it's something that, you know, gets your feet in the water, you know, gets you on track when it comes to building your brand. And then eventually you want to upgrade. But I mean, if you don't want to join my Discord, don't want to join the inner circle, if you don't want to buy any Shopify themes, Shopify actually allows you to have this free theme called Dawn. And it's a clean theme. It's not bad. And you know, it's something that you can use. Now let's talk about legal pages and policy. So next up, we need to make your website official. This means setting up your shipping policy, return policy, terms and conditions, and privacy policy. Before you even publish your website, y'all, this is something that you need to have on your website. Like, it's super mandatory, absolutely mandatory for your website. Now, I know it sounds boring, but it's necessary and it builds trust with customers. If you don't know where to start, don't stress. We already have templates made for you inside the Discord. All you have to do is copy and paste those directly into your site. Free game, no excuses. Now, with the templates inside the Discord, these are just templates. They're to help you start off with your policies. But when you copy and paste these templates, you want to insert your own information. So for instance, when you're doing your shipping policy, you can copy and paste a template, but you want to make sure you implement your shipping policy for your brand. So if you're running a pre-order drop, in the shipping policy, you want to say that your order will take 3, 4, 5 weeks for production, and 3, 4, or 5 days for shipping. Whatever it is, whatever you and your manufacturer have discussed, you want to implement that in your shipping policy. Now, if you're running a pre-made drop, in your shipping policy, you're going to say your order ships within 2 to 3, 4, or 5 days, just because you're running a pre-made and you already have the inventory on hand. When it comes to your return policy, now, some brands don't do returns. The order is final, sales are final, and there's no returns. Some brands do returns. Some brands will allow consumers to return their item if it doesn't fit, if there's a deficiency with the item, anything. So again, it really depends on you as a brand owner. I'm just giving you the template to start you off. When it comes to terms and conditions, those pretty much stay the same. You can pretty much copy and paste. All you have to do is implement your brand name and your email. Same thing with the privacy policy. All you have to do is implement your brand name and your support email. Now, bottom line, keep your site clean. Keep it simple. Make it fast and frictionless for your customer to buy. You can always make it pretty later. Right now, you just need to convert. I know a lot of brand owners, y'all, and I actually had a student that just joined my mentorship that had a website with a graphic where it was like a kind of like a video game, and you can like enter into the website with like AI. It was weird. It was like a video game where you can walk into the website and all types of stuff. We don't need that. Just buy the product. All right, like we just want the customers to just buy a product. Right? We don't want them to be playing video games and doing and looking at different graphics and movies and short films on your website. Because you have to think about it like this. Not every consumer has strong Wi-Fi like you do and like we do. They're not sitting on 5, 6 bars of Wi-Fi, strong Wi-Fi where there's no type of lag. There are some consumers out there that are living in certain areas that don't have the best Wi-Fi or even service. So if you have a website that has a bunch of graphics, a bunch of short films and video games on it and all that type of stuff, that type of stuff is going to lag when they're on their website. And like I said earlier in the video, consumers nowadays have short-term attention spans. So if your website is lagging while they're trying to buy your product, they're just gonna simply get off the website and then you're gonna lose out on a sale. So kind of think about that when it comes to your guys' website. Don't make it pretty at first. Make sure it converts. Now that your Shopify store is fully set up and optimized for high conversions, meaning it's simple, clean, and built to get customers from just browsing to check out fast, it's time to add in the backend tools that'll help you scale. Now, let's go over some of the Shopify apps that you're gonna need for your website. There are a bunch of apps that can take your store to the next level, whether it's improving conversions, collecting email and SMS, or even building a better customer experience. I'm not gonna list them all here, but I am gonna give you guys a full breakdown inside my free Discord with direct links and use case breakdown. That's in the link in the description. But I will give you guys a few apps that are necessary for your website to boost conversions and even build your email and SMS. So the first app is called Postscript. Postscript is a purple icon, and this app will allow you to build your text message list for your upcoming drop. So with Postscript, you're able to obtain a link, and with that link, you're gonna attach it to every single one of your social media accounts in the bios of your social media accounts. With that link, people can automatically sign up for your text message list. So when you're posting content, and I'm gonna get to this a little bit later in the video, but when you're posting content on your social media, you always wanna funnel people into your text message list. You don't wanna just post content just to post content. We wanna make sure that we are funneling people into our text message list so that they sign up for our drop, so that once our drop comes, we're able to text those people on the day of the drop and let them know that the product is ready and ready to buy. And the reason why email and SMS lists are so important is because not everybody is on social media every day. A lot of you brand owners that are watching are heavily relying on social media. When it comes to like updates on your drops, when it comes to just communication with your customers, you guys are relying on social media. And what you guys have to realize is that the average human being goes to work from 8 to 5. And then after 5 o'clock, they have a whole other life outside of work, right? Whether it's kids, whether it's relationships, whether it's other things outside of work. So a lot of people aren't on social media all day. And then with the TikTok and Instagram algorithm, a lot of people don't see your posts until days later. So that's why email and SMS are so important, because they are able to contact the customer directly, whether it's email or text message, and give them updates on your brand. So make sure, this is most important, you guys, when you guys are building your brand and you guys are starting off your brand, start building that email and SMS list as soon as possible. As soon as you start promoting a product, you want to make sure that you have your email and SMS set up so that you can start collecting phone numbers and emails. So when it comes to emails, right? When it comes to collecting emails, you want to download an app called Klaviyo. Klaviyo will allow you to collect emails, same thing as Postscripts. It would allow you to collect emails within your brand. Now, what's the difference between collecting text messages and emails? Should you collect both from the same person? It really depends on the person. A lot of people are okay with giving you their phone number, but a lot of people are also not okay with giving you their phone number and rather give you their email. You guys have to think about it like this. When you guys are going to these big company stores like JCPenney, Macy's, Kohl's, Ross, all those type of stores, after you buy or even before you buy, they give you an incentive for your information. So you might be about to buy your product, and then on the screen, it'll say, would you like 10% off? Just give us your email. And when you give them your email, you're gonna be updated on anything that goes on within that company. So the bigger brands are doing this. The bigger companies are doing this, y'all. And it's like the #1 marketing strategy when it comes to owning a clothing brand or even just a business in general. That email and SMS list is super, super important, y'all. Now, another app that I'm gonna give you guys is called Simple Bundles and Kits. And with this app is that I know a lot of you brand owners that are watching plan on dropping a sweatsuit pretty soon. And what Simple Bundles and Kits does, which is an app on Shopify, what this app does is that it allows you to bundle both the hoodie and the sweatpants together so that we can increase your AOV. What is AOV? Average order value. How much one person spends at your store on average. So when it comes to dropping a sweatsuit for your clothing brand, you want to split it up in 3 different products: the hoodie, the pants, and then the bundle set. And the only way to achieve this bundle set is downloading the app called Simple Bundles and Kits. So what Simple Bundles and Kits does is that it increases your AOV. So if I'm a customer buying from your brand, I don't want to pay full retail for the hoodie and then pay full retail for the pants. If you have a bundled product where it's discounted, so say the hoodie is $50 and the pants are $50. So if I buy them separately, it's $100. But if I buy the bundle, it's $90. So I would rather a customer come on my website, buy both of my products at $90 than only buy one product at $50. They don't want to buy separate products at the same time. Just think about it like that when you guys are selling multiple products. Think about that Simple Bundles and Kits app. It will definitely increase your AOV and make you more money as a brand owner. So, like I said, those are just 2 apps that you can use that can increase your AOV, increase your conversion rate, and a couple apps that will help you build your SMS and your email list. My full breakdown to all my Shopify apps is in the link in the description on my free Discord, so go ahead and tap into that. DM me SS on Instagram and you will be able to join my inner circle and get my personal Shopify apps for free. Now let's talk about buying a domain, getting your domain name. You want your domain to be as professional and as clean as possible. Ideally, go for a .com. It's the most trustworthy. But if it's taken or out of budget, try .shop, .store, or .co or solid option. Keep it simple and on brand. My brand is called Be Special. So my domain is bespecialtm.com. At first it was Be Special the Movement, so that's why the TM is right there. Straight to the point, easy to remember, and it matches my IG handle. So that's really important as well. Now you can buy your domain through Shopify, but I personally don't recommend that. It's a little more expensive and you don't get as many features. I suggest using Squarespace instead. Why? Because Squarespace gets you a professional domain, access to set up a business email, and better backend tools for brand infrastructure. Now, although I slightly don't recommend getting your domain through Shopify, you can still get your domain through Shopify. I'm not saying it's not possible. Just saying it's a little more expensive. Now let's talk about SMS marketing with Postscript. Once your domain is locked and your store is live, the next step is setting up SMS marketing. And this is the most super important part. I already told you guys that earlier in the video. Let me break it down for you guys. Every single person checks their text. It's personal, direct, and has crazy open rates, way better than email. That's why we use Postscript. It lets you build your SMS, schedule text around your drops, and send exclusive offers to people who already mess with your brand. Here's how your SMS schedule should look before a drop. 7 days out, drop coming soon. 3 days out, a reminder text. 24 hours out, build hype again. Drop day in the morning, early access SMS to VIPs. And 15 minutes after launch, a follow-up saying that we're live. Let me just show you guys on ChatGPT on how to create a SMS Postscript campaign for your up-and-coming drops. Just a side note, y'all, ChatGPT is gonna be your best friend when it comes to owning a brand or even owning a business in general. So I'm on ChatGPT right now. Say we are about 3 days away from the drop. So you're gonna tell ChatGPT, I own a clothing brand called Be Special, and I am dropping a collection called the Yellow Tape Collection, is dropping in 3 days, and I want to construct a SMS text to my VIP subscribers, giving them a reminder that they will receive early access, 10% off, and free shipping on drop day. Now, I know some of you guys are watching this probably saying, why are you giving them early access, 10% off, and free shipping? Isn't that a lot? Well, I'm incentivizing my VIP subscribers to buy. And although, there might be some people out there that are generally gonna buy from your brand full price, whatever it is, but a lot of the times people want hookups, man. That's just how it is in this life. That's just how it is in business, man. Everybody wants a hookup. So me personally as a brand owner, giving a customer early access, 10% off and free shipping doesn't really do much for me. It doesn't really hinder me too much. It doesn't take away from my profit too much. Don't get me wrong, it does. It certainly does, but it doesn't do it too much to where I'm actually losing money. So I'm willing to sacrifice early access, 10% off, and free shipping on drop day for my customers for them to buy and purchase from my brand. So that's why I include incentives when it comes to my SMS text message campaign. I also want to put less than 250 characters because that's what PostScripts allows. Until the more characters you use on PostScripts, the more expensive it's going to be. So I try to really limit those with less than 250 characters. So you're just going to hit enter and we just wait for ChatGPT to kind of give us some options. So looks like the first one says 3 days away. Our yellow tape collection drops soon. VIP gets early access, 10% off, free shipping. Set your alarms, limited stock, be ready. All right, that one's actually not bad. So what I usually do with ChatGPT, I have them give me a few options and I just pick the best one out of these. Second one says the yellow tape collection drops in 3 days. VIPs get first dib, 10% off. Don't miss it. This one's gonna move fast. I like that last part. Don't miss it. This one's gonna move fast, right? I feel like it creates a lot of urgency and scarcity. Number 3, VIP alert. In 3 days, you're first in line for the yellow tape collection. Early access, 10% off, and free shipping. This is your moment. Ooh, I like that. This is your moment one. I like that, and I like that first in line part as well. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. VIP alert. In 3 days, you're first in line for the yellow tape collection. Early access, 10% off, free shipping. This is your moment. Wow, I really like that one. See, ChatGPT, I would have never thought of that out of my own head. I'm not even gonna lie. So shout out to ChatGPT, man. If you guys need any help, think of ChatGPT as like your assistant, man. Any question that you ever have, please go to ChatGPT. So this is a text message that I would basically use for 3 days before my drop. And then let's just say it's drop day. So I'm literally gonna take this same message right here. And instead of saying it's dropping in 3 days, we're gonna say it drops now. And I want to construct my SMS, boom, boom, VIP, giving them reminder, boom, boom. Okay, instead of on drop day, I'm gonna say today, less than 250 characters. All right, so let's hit enter. Now they're gonna give me text messages that I can use on drop day, right? All I had to do was change a few words, y'all. So first one, it's live. The yellow tape collection just dropped. VIP gets early access, 10% off and free shipping today. Don't sleep, limited stock. Cool, the wait is over. Yellow tape collection is live. As a VIP, enjoy 10% off, free shipping today only. Early access won't last, move quick. So you're just gonna go through some of these options, man, and whatever is best to you, whatever you like, you're just gonna kind of go with. But just look for the urgency, look for the scarcity, look for, certain words. Like as I showed you guys earlier with the, you're first in line for the yellow tape collection, this is your moment. I like how it's kind of personal. I like how, they tell you that you're first in line, like you're a priority, that type of thing. Again, ChatGPT is going to be your best friend when it comes to this. Now, once you have SMS running, you want to make sure that you have a phone number sign up pop-up page on your website. So let me just show you guys real quick what that looks like. This is exactly what your pop-up is going to look like. Now, this pop-up is going to show up when people visit your website. So they click on your website, and as they're scrolling, this pop-up is going to come up within the first 5 to 10 seconds. And as you can see what it says, you've unlocked a mystery discount on your order. Enter your phone number and claim your offer. So the only way that they can get this mystery discount is by typing in their phone number. And when they type in their phone number, they're added to your subscriber list. So I know there's a lot of brand owners that ask me, how do I grow my SMS list? This is exactly how you do it right here. Well, this is one of the ways that you can do it right here, including a pop-up on your website by simply offering a mystery discount or a 10% discount, 15%, whatever it is, and making sure that you get that phone number from that customer. All right, now that you have set up your PostScripts SMS or even your Klaviyo with email, you want to set up your Instagram page. I usually do my Instagram page last once all of my backend information is done with my Shopify website. So now that your store and SMS systems are live, let's finally build your Instagram. I usually do Instagram last because it's the most fun and rewarding part. Once all the backend stuff is done, like your site, domain, and apps, setting up IG just hits different. And by then, you already have everything ready to promote. A lot of you brand owners start with Instagram. And I don't understand that. Like, You say you guys want to start a brand or a business and then automatically start the brand page. But really, you guys are working backwards and you're supposed to be starting the back end information first and then starting the IG page. Instagram is like your storefront. Think of it like a YouTube thumbnail. It's the first thing people see and it needs to grab attention. If your store is the restaurant, Instagram is the smell coming from the kitchen. It's what pulls people in. So your goal with IG is to make people curious enough to click the link in the bio and go shop. That's why your content has to be really, really good. Now, here's a few rules for IG setup. Your username. It should match your domain name or your brand name, right? Mine is B Special TM. My brand's name is called Be Special, so kind of correlates. The bio. Keep it simple, but packed with value. Include the mission statement, what your brand stands for, social proof on who rocks your brand, link to your Shopify store, and drop info or exclusive. Also, stack your page with social proof. Let me just give you guys just a side note, right? When you guys are first starting out your brand, or if you're a brand owner and you're a beginner, you want to focus on building your community and building your social proof. You can't be stingy and not give away any of your items, not give away any merch. I know a lot of brand owners out there, especially a few of my students that joined my mentorship, and they started off by saying, I just got a bulk order in. I want to get top dollar for every single product. They want to sell every single product. And what I told them is that out of the 50 pieces that you have, you're going to have to give away at least 5. What are you giving it away for? To build that social proof. Give it away to some influencers. Give it away to some promoters in your city. Give it away to some friends that are always outside, always going to events and stuff. You want to build social proof first. If you start your brand and start looking for the dollar amount first, you're not going to last. I'm going to just tell you that right now. People buy off social proof. They want to see other people wearing your brand before they buy from your brand. People follow what's already working. If they see other people supporting your brand, they're most likely trust and buy it too. It's basic human psychology, tribal behavior. We're wired to follow the crowd. So the more you show love from your customers, influencers, and even reposts, etc., the more your brand becomes magnetic. Before I get into the next section, let me just show you guys my IG page. So this is my Instagram page right here. And as you can see, super simple. My logo is my profile picture. As you can see, Be Special TM is my username. I have over 30,000 followers on Instagram, which is great social proof right there. And if you take a look at my bio, I have Be Special the Movement, which is my full brand name. The first line, Yellow Tape collection drops 4/25/25. So I'm letting people know that we have a collection dropping soon. Then the founder, Elohim, which is me. You don't have to put this for your bio, but I did just to give myself some notoriety and let people, just have a personal connection with me as a brand owner. Then I have featured on League Fits, which is an NBA page that shows off all of the NBA players wearing their outfits. Blitz Fits, which is just like the League Fits, but it's NFL. Nova Men, which is the Fashion Nova men's page. And then WNBA, which is the Women's National Basketball Association Instagram page as well. So I'm basically giving social proof right then and there that my brand has been featured on League Fits, Blitz Fits, Nova Men, and WNBA. Those 4 major IG pages right there. So if I just hit more, as you can see, I have my customer service email right there. So if anybody is inquiring about their order, asking about shipping times, asking about certain products, they can simply contact my customer service email, which is in the bio. On top of that, if you click my links, the first link is my website. So if you want to shop with my website, you can. The second link is my Postscripts link. So if somebody clicks this, right, it says Yellow Tape Collection Early Access. So if they click this link right here, they will be able to sign up for my SMS list and get early access, 10% off, free shipping, whatever it is for the collection. And then the third link is becoming a brand ambassador. So I have a brand ambassador program for my brand, and people are able to sign up as a brand ambassador and actually make money with my brand, right? They get a certain percentage off every sale that they get by promoting my brand and promoting their personal link. So if you continue onto my IG page, I have a few highlights, and these highlights are basically, some more notoriety, some more social proof, some more trust and credibility. I have reviews, I have proof of me shipping, I have a few highlights of some of my collections that I've dropped in the past. I have the post. So even though I said featured on these pages on my bio, I also have that in my highlights on my Instagram page to show people that I was actually featured on these pages. SneakerCon, I had a SneakerCon collab last year, so I'm highlighting that on my highlights as well. A few size charts, so size charts for my products, I have that as well, and then a few other things. So highlights are definitely important as well, as it, again, builds trust and credibility for your brand. If you guys just look at my page on my profile, man, on my brand page, you can just see the aesthetic to it. You can just see that I'm selling a product. A lot of you guys' brand pages don't show that you guys are selling a product. I really don't understand it. Like, it kind of boggles me a little bit that your guys' brand page doesn't actually show that you are selling a product. If you go on my page, you can literally see that I'm selling a product. I have my yellow tape collection right here, so I posted a couple different reels and photos of that. I have a bunch of UGC content on my page, man. As you can see, if you look through my IG page, man, my IG brand page, you don't see me, right? You don't see my face at all, because I want to make sure that I'm building notoriety and trust and credibility and showing people that other people are wearing my brand. A lot of you guys have brand pages and they look like personal pages because it's just you wearing the brand. Make sure you guys are getting models. Make sure you guys are going out there and asking people, hey, would you model for my brand? That's all I did, right? All the people that you see right here are simply people from my city that are willing to model for my brand. So as a brand owner, as a business owner, don't be scared to go out there and simply ask people to model for your brand, right? It doesn't always have to be you. So as you can see, I have crazy UGC content on my page, man, of just customers wearing my merch in different places, man. One customer I saw, he actually wore my shirt in Dubai. I've never been to Dubai, but my brand has been to Dubai. Like, that should be the goal for you guys. Your brand being in different countries and different states and different places, and you know, these places that you've never been to. That's okay. Your brand has been there. So you've basically been there, you know, that type of thing. This is what the perfect IG brand page should look like. So if you guys are wondering what a brand page actually looks like, all you have to do is go to my brand page and kind of just check it out and kind of see, you know, the UGC content, the model content, the flat lay content, the reels, the notoriety, the trust, the credibility. I mean, when you go on my IG page, there shouldn't be any questions. You have a customer service email, you have highlights, you have, you know, celebrities and athletes wearing my merchandise, you know, so you don't have to really question on whether or not my brand is a scam or if it's a real brand, because you see it on my IG page. So your entire brand ecosystem is built. You have a conversion ready store, a clean custom domain, active SMS and email marketing, a visually appealing Instagram. You're officially ready to drop. Now let's talk a little bit about the backend setup, right? When it comes to like your LLC. I know a lot of brand owners talk down on like getting your LLC instantly, right? They say that you should make like $10,000 or more before you get your LLC. Before we get into the back-end setup of an LLC, let me just kind of give you guys some information. There are a lot of brand owners out there, or a lot of clothing brand gurus that tell you not to get your LLC until you make like 5 figures, $10,000 plus with your clothing brand. But in my opinion, once you have your brand name and you're committed to your brand name, committed to your Instagram page, committed to your website, whatever it is, that's when you get your LLC. And the reason why I say that is because when you're dealing with banks, and eventually when you want to borrow money from banks, or if you want to start a business account with banks, or if you want to build a relationship with banks, they look at history. So if you wait until you make your first $10,000 to create an LLC, the bank is going to see that your LLC is new, and they're not going to give you as much money in funding because how new your LLC is. So that's why I recommend creating your LLC as soon as possible. Like, as soon as you commit to the brand name, as soon as you commit to your website, your Instagram page, create that LLC. Because as soon as you create that LLC, that's when you start creating history with your LLC. So say you instantly start your LLC, you instantly sign up for your LLC, create your LLC, whatever it is, and then 6 months later, you've made $10, $15, $20,000 with your brand, and now you're looking to get business funding. Banks are gonna see, okay, at least he has a 6-month LLC, compared to a brand owner that didn't sign up for the LLC, that didn't create the LLC, and now 6 months later, they'd have made some good money with their brand. Now they decide to create an LLC. Now they decide to go get business funding with the bank. Now a bank is gonna see, oh, you just created your LLC about a month ago or a couple weeks ago. We can't give you too much business funding. So my recommendation, y'all, is to create that LLC ASAP. Now, if you're in the Discord, we have a full 4-page mini course that walks you through every step of building your LLC. Now let's talk about mindset when it comes to LLC. Now, if you haven't launched your brand yet and you haven't made any sales, I say come back to this part of the video after your first drop. Because the moment you start making money, you need to be legit, legally protected, able to write out business expenses, and on your way to building business credit. But before you rush into setting one up, here's the rule of thumb. Only do it if you're all in. Like I said earlier, only create that LLC if you're committed to your brand name, brand page, Instagram page, website, and all of that. An LLC is a commitment. It's like saying, I'm not treating this like a side hustle anymore. This is a business. Now, for some of you, setting it up early might give you that extra push. It's like burning the boats. No backup plan, just full throttle forward. Because the truth is, building a clothing brand is an emotional roller coaster. There will be ups and downs, delays, and wins. But what matters most is that you keep pushing through all of it. Now, let's talk about barriers of commitment. I like to look at the LLC as one of the barriers to entry that help you lock in. Think about it. Before you ever see your first sale, you already have to create a design, make a mock-up, find a manufacturer, build a website, and every one of those steps is like a wall. And the more walls you climb, the more you prove to yourself that you're not going to quit. That's why we tell every student in the inner circle, once you've made it this far, there's no turning back. You're in it. Same with the LLC. It's another commitment brick in the foundation of your brand. The destroyer of plan A is always plan B. Go all in. No backups, no safety nets. That's how you build something real. Why do you need an LLC? Here's what setting up an LLC does for you. It protects your personal assets, lets you open up a business bank account, allows you to start building business credit, makes you look more official when working with manufacturers or even vendors, and you can write off expenses like samples, inventory, Shopify apps, and even more. And once it's set up, you can run everything from Shopify to SMS platforms under your business, not your personal name. Now, how to set it up? If you want step-by-step help, we got you. The mini course is inside the Discord and it breaks it down exactly where to register your LLC because it depends on your state, how much it'll cost, again, depends on your state, what sites to use and what to avoid, again, depends on your state, and how to do it the easy way without overpaying legal sites that charge you $500 plus. Bottom line, set up your LLC when you're ready to treat your brand like a business. If you're a kid watching this and you're maybe like 18, 19, 20 years old, kind of think about it. Are you guys looking to run a brand or are you looking to run a business? All right, at the end of the day, when it comes to running a brand, it's a business as well. You guys have to think about it like that. And once it's done, carry that same energy in everything else you build. It's not just paperwork, it's the foundation of something real. Now, let's get into the marketing aspect of owning a clothing brand. And I feel like this is probably the biggest problem that a lot of clothing brand owners have when they first start. Now that the back end of your brand is completely set up with your website, product, fulfillment, and everything, it's officially time to lock in on marketing. Just so you know, everything you've done up to this point should be happening while your sample is being made, right? That's a 2 to 4 week window. This is the perfect time to prepare for your content and rollout plan. So by the time your product is in hand, you're ready to start promoting. Before you jump in, you also need to choose whether you're doing a pre-made or a pre-order drop. Your marketing timeline and messaging depend on that decision, and it should be based on the demand you've built up. If you're unsure, we break this down step by step in the Discord and in the earlier pre-made versus pre-order section. Let me give you guys just a quick mindset on marketing. Here's the mindset you need to have coming into this. Marketing equals sales. Eyes equals sales. Views equals sales. The more eyes, the more sales. I tell my students that all the time. Literally every single group call that we have every week, I tell them more eyes, more sales. If you're a brand owner and you post one reel a day and that one reel gets 200 views a day, it's 7 days out of the week, 200 views, that's 1,400 views that you have accumulated in that 1 week. Okay, cool. Compared to another brand owner that posts 2 times a day and gets 200 views, that's 400 views a day. Times that by 7, that's 2,800 views a week. That's 2 times as many views that the brand owner that posts twice a day compared to the brand owner that posted once a day. So kind of think about that when you guys are posting your content. Compare it to posting 1 time a day to posting 2 to 3 times a day. Again, the more eyes, the more sales. You can have the best product, the best site, the cleanest branding, but if your marketing isn't locked in, you will not get sales. Period. This is where I see most brand owners fail. They get lazy or scared to post. Don't be nonchalant. Don't wait. You have to be everywhere, testing new creatives, trying new hooks, and staying consistent even when the views aren't crazy. And don't get discouraged if your early content doesn't go viral. Getting 2,000 to 5,000 views, that's still powerful. Imagine 4,000 people in a room watching your brand. It's all about perspective. Now let's talk about a little bit about organic marketing. Your main platform should be TikTok and Instagram. I recommend 2 to 3 times a day on TikTok and at least once a day on Instagram. Show your product, show behind the scenes, show lifestyle shots, and show skits. Use strong hooks. This is super important. Make people stop scrolling for controversy, emotion, or even storytelling. Try to keep people watching. Give a reason to stay until the end of the video. Use hashtags like hashtag clothing brand, hashtag streetwear, hashtag FYP, but don't overdo it. I would recommend maybe 3 to 5 hashtags every post. For TikTok idea research, type in hashtag clothing brand or hashtag streetwear, filter by most liked in this month, and reverse engineer what worked and put your own spin on it. But with Instagram Reels, follow the same playbook, but IG as extra tools. Reels, stories, giveaways, influencer marketing, and story engagement are key here. Here's a Reels tip. Edit inside the IG editor so the algorithm favors you. Add hidden keywords in the small text like streetwear, clothing brand for CEO reach. Avoid profanity or explicit songs. It kills your reach. If your content isn't hitting, reevaluate your product. No amount of content can sell a weak design. Your product has to look and feel fire. It should speak for itself. So let me just kind of give you guys what I did for my up and coming drop when it came to organic marketing. I simply found a Let me just go to the brand. I found a brand that's been doing really well in the clothing brand space. This brand is called Vague Studio. They currently have 133,000 followers on Instagram, and they're doing pretty well with their brand, right? So if I go to their reels, really good reels. They have really good reels, crazy amount of views. But this video right here stuck out to me. This video right here with almost 1 million views. So let's look at it.
$50 for a ticket. Question, bro. I personally want to give you $100. I like heels. These are super comfy. Brand is Vague Studios. Got a perfect red hoodie. It's sun faded. Dope metal studs.
So that video is less than 10 seconds and it has almost 1 million views. So I looked at that video, I said, that's something that I can do for my brand. So if we go back to my brand page here, I uploaded that same exact video. Let's get to it.
W chat, what the fuck? This shit tough. Nah, this shit harder. I ain't gonna lie, this shit actually tough as fuck. Be special.
And my video got 25,000 views and I just posted it a couple days ago. So I already took what was working, y'all. I took what was proven. That video already had 1 million views. So I said, there's 8 billion people in the world and they only got 1 million views. That means I can tap into way more people than that million that they did. And so far that reel is at 25,000 views. I literally took what was proven and what was working and used it for my brand. So think about that when it comes to your content creating with your brand and your marketing as well. Like I said earlier in the video, you're not gonna be the next Virgil. You're not gonna create something that someone has never seen ever in life. You might create something that's rare, that's okay. You might create something that's rare, but when it comes to creating something that's people have never seen before, it's kind of hard. So I just took a structure from a brand that was already working, that was already successful, pertained it to my brand, and I was able to get an extra 25,000 views in the last couple of days. So let's talk about Instagram giveaways. All right, giveaways are one of the best ways to grow organically and grow quickly as well. A simple example of an Instagram giveaway structure, the prize could be a free shirt plus 40% off their next order. Now, in order to enter this giveaway, they have to follow your IG page, like the post and tag 2 friends, and repost the story, and join your SMS link in the bio. On top of that, they get unlimited entries, which equals more engagement. So they can tag as many people as they want, and they can comment as many times as they want, just to build the engagement. Why do giveaways work? Because Instagram boosts posts that get comments, follows, story shares, and saves. Giveaways bring all that into one. Don't be stingy, y'all. As a brand owner, please don't be stingy. And if you're looking for $1 when it comes to starting a clothing brand, I need you guys to just get off this video right now. Simply because, like I said earlier in the video, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Do not be stingy to give away a couple of your pieces. Giving away one hoodie in exchange for hundreds of new eyes on your brand is an investment. It's not a loss. Now, let's talk about influencer marketing. Influencer marketing can literally change your life. For me, I left my 9 to 5 after Soulja Boy wore my hoodie. So I had a great situation where I had a connection with the radio station in my city. And honestly, y'all, one day I was just chilling on the couch and I got a call saying Soulja Boy was gonna be at the radio station in the next 30 minutes. And they were like, hey, do you wanna get him some merch? And I was like, let's do it. So I hopped up off the couch. I got some merch off the rack. I kind of guessed his size. I didn't really know what size he wore, but I know he was kind of short, so he's probably like a small or a medium. Ran over to the radio station, man, and I was able to get Soulja Boy some merch. Also, I was able to get a video of him shouting out my brand as well. So that moment right there, I didn't know how viral that moment was gonna be until he wore my hoodie in his concert the same day, y'all. If y'all wanna see that video, go ahead and follow my personal Instagram, and it's on my brand page as well. So you can follow my personal page and my brand page. You will see that video of Soulja Boy receiving his hoodie and wearing the hoodie in his concert the same day, y'all. And after that moment, like a couple weeks later, it just really just started going viral. And that moment right there, I was like, yeah, it's about time I leave my job and go all in with my brand. So influencer marketing could definitely change your life, man. Influencer marketing created a massive brand visibility. And if it worked for me, it could work for you. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can go about influencer marketing. You can pay celebrities for a huge reach. You can hit up niche fashion influencers on IG to wear your pieces. And you can offer free product or pay for posts depending on the influencer size. I know you guys are probably wondering, how do you find influencers? First of all, before I get into how to find influencers, we have a full vetted influencer list and outreach templates inside the Discord. But if you want to find influencers on your own, I'm going to show you the exact way that I show my students on how to find influencers for their brand. This is just one of the ways that you can find influencers for your brand, are outfit pages on Instagram. So I know a lot of you guys see outfit pages on Instagram where they feature outfits from different influencers, streamers, celebrities, whatever it is. So all you have to do really is type in fit or outfit on Instagram. And in order to find these outfit pages, you can just find like one, like if you know one influencer, all you have to do is go to their tag photos and there are gonna be a bunch of outfit pages that are tagging that one influencer. So if you know a big influencer like Quan, right? So we're gonna type in Quan's Instagram, right? So say you guys know Quan, right? That's just one influencer that you guys do know. You want to go to his tag photos. Go to his tag photos. You're going to find an outfit page that tagged him with his outfit. So I went to a different influencer and his name is Cashy V, right? So if you guys watch YouTube or if you guys are in the clothing brand space, Cashy V is one of the big clothing brand owners out of Atlanta, and he be getting fitted too, right? So for instance, I'm in his tag photos right here. All you have to do is go to, as you can see, they're featuring him in some outfits. Here's a page called Star Fits, right? So you're just gonna scroll through Star Fits, boom. We find one influencer right here. His name is Stachio. Here's an influencer that you can contact to get some promo for your merch. Boom, we keep scrolling. Looks like we have another influencer here. Her name is, I have no idea, Charasi Marshall. So if you look through her page and if it matches the niche of your brand, contact her, right? So if we keep scrolling, we got Lil Yachty. Obviously, Lil Yachty's gonna be a little hard to get to. Let's see, we got here. We have another, look, just came across another outfit page called Famous Fits, right? Look, and all you have to do is go through these outfit pages, y'all, and just scroll, right? Scroll and look for influencers, all right? Let's go back to KCV. Now we have come across another outfit page called Carts Fits. So basically you just want to scroll through. Looks like we have one influencer right here. Her name is Raina, as you can see. We're gonna go to her page right here. She has 4 million followers. It's a little bit harder to contact her probably. But y'all, at the end of the day, it's always worth trying. Like you might as well at least try. Like a lot of you guys see these big influencers with like 4 million, 2 million, a million, or 100K, whatever it is. And you guys are like kind of get discouraged because you guys don't want to hit them up because you're afraid that they're not going to respond. My best advice to you guys is to hit up 50 to 100 influencers a day, especially when you have an upcoming drop, especially when you got some inventory that you want to get to an influencer. Hit up at least 50 to 100 influencers a day, man, and see who responds. So it looks like we got another influencer right here, KJ Dreams. All right, he only has 100K. This is definitely possible for a new brand, right, to contact him and see if he can wear your guys' merch. Looks like he has some crazy outfits, nice scenery pictures. So I just literally found you guys like 4 to 5 influencers right now. We have another one. Her name is Prima, I believe. She only has 47K or 48K. So here's another influencer. And again, if she matches your niche, go ahead and hit her up. See if she'll wear your merchandise and contact her. All right. So man, Carts Fits. What I just showed you guys. Carts Fits, Star Fits. Man, all you have to do is go to like a big influencer, and I just gave you guys 2 big influencers right now. Go to their tag photos and look at the fit pages that are tagging them, and then scroll through, man. Scroll through these fit pages. You're gonna find a bunch of different influencers that you can work with for your brand. But side note, make sure they match your niche. A lot of you brand owners just want to pick random influencers and random celebrities and athletes that don't match the niche of your brand, right? Make sure they match your niche and the mission of your brand. Here are some pro tips when it comes to dealing with influence. Use the 10% rule. Give 10% of your inventory to influencers. Now, it doesn't have to be 10%. It could be a little bit less. So if you have 50 pieces, I recommend giving away at least 5 to 7 pieces to influencers. And don't think about it as giving it away. Think about it as an investment. When these influencers end up wearing your merch, as you can see, one of the influencers had over 50,000 followers. Another one had over 100,000 followers. You have to think about it. When you send your merch to this influencer, that is going to be an extra 100,000 eyes on your brand. And what did I say earlier in the video? The more eyes, the more sales. Selling your inventory, right? Say those 5 to 7 pieces, right? Say you're a brand owner that's saying, I don't want to do influencer marketing. I want to just sell my merchandise. Okay, cool. You say you have one of your products that you decided not to give to an influencer and sell to a customer. Cool, right? You got your money. But that customer only has 300 followers on Instagram. They don't really be outside like that. They just bought it because they have an event coming up or a birthday party coming up and they're going to wear it. They might take pictures. They might not. They might get you some content. They might not. But you got your money though, right? You got your money though, right? No. Take that product, give it to an influencer that's gonna actually post it on Instagram, show their followers, and promote your brand so you can get more sales, all right? Those sales are gonna come from the back end, y'all. You guys have to think about that. Never be afraid to give your merch to an influencer because you know you are gonna get those sales and those eyes on the back end after they wear your merchandise. So, don't be afraid to give merch out to influencers. On top of that, when you're dealing with influencers, this is kind of a hack when it comes to influencers. When you give your merch out to the influencer, you want to make sure it comes with a personal discount code. I'm gonna show you guys on Shopify real quick on how to create a custom personal discount code for your influencer. You're gonna go to Shopify, and then on the left, you're gonna go to discounts. All right, you're gonna go to discounts, you're gonna go to create discount. You're gonna do amount off order because we wanna make sure that this discount code takes off a discount off the entire order, whether they order 1 product, 2 products, 3 products. We wanna make sure that discount code is affected by the entire order. So we go to create discount. The discount code is gonna be relative to the influencer. So I'm gonna use Quan as an example. If I'm doing influencer marketing with Quan, I just sent him my product, his discount code could be something along the lines of Quan10. So that means Quan has a 10% discount code that he can give to his fans to shop with your brand. So everything else is gonna stay the same, and make sure you click limit 1 use per customer. That means the customer can only use the discount code 1 time. Then you're gonna hit save. The reason why for that is because number 1, that gives customers an incentive to buy your merch. So when Quan posts my brand, he can tell his fans, hey, if you like this piece, here's 10% off, go buy it right now. And then on top of that, like I told you guys, you're gonna get the sales on the back end after the influencer posts your brand. So why not get even more sales by incentivizing the customer? Here's 10% off. Now they get a discount. On your product, and then you can get even more sales. So when you're dealing with influencer marketing, you wanna make sure that you create that custom discount code for your influencer so that they can promote your brand even more with the discount code and get you even more sales. Second pro tip, only reach out to influencers in your niche. Like I said earlier in the video, there are a lot of you brand owners that are just hitting up any type of influencer that does anything. Any type of fashion influencer, you guys are hitting up to get in your brand. Make sure it matches your niche. If you're a luxury brand, hit up luxury and comfy influencers that wear like comfy stuff or like sweatsuits or like any type of luxury item, you know, that type of thing. If you're a streetwear brand, hit up streetwear fashion influencers that take photos outside on a block or on just give you that streetwear scene. If you're an anime clothing brand, right? You want to look for anime influencers that promote anime and watch anime and all that type of stuff, right? So make sure that the influencer is in your niche. Follow up with the influencer. Like I told you guys, in my Discord, I have outreach templates for you, right? So you can go on my Discord and literally copy and paste an outreach text message that you can send to the influencer, and you guys can start up a conversation. And within the conversation, right, if you plan on doing a deal with an influencer, you wanna make sure there's a contract involved. I've had a lot of situations, and even my students have a lot of situations before they join my mentorship, they were scammed by influencers. They were scammed by influencers after sending the piece, and they never took photos, they never promoted the brand, they never even posted it on their story. So in order for that not to happen, you need to create a contract with the influencer. How do you create a contract? The template is in the Discord. I also have outreach templates, like I said. You want to create that contract with that influencer just so you don't get scammed, right? A lot of these influencers think they're like big top dog because they have a bunch of followers. Me personally, I don't care about how many followers you have. I care about the actual person you are. I care about Instagram. I don't care about followers, right? A lot of these influencers let these followers get to their head. So they think they're top dog. They just want to accept the merch and never do the deal. So make sure you guys have a contract, especially if it's an influencer that you guys have never met in your life and you want to just do some business with them. You want to make sure that you create a contract. And the contract is simply going to state what you guys talked about. What are you trying to get out of this influencer? That's another thing that you guys need to know before you even contact the influencer. What are you trying to get out of this influencer? Are you trying to get a story promo? Are you trying to get a feed promo? Are you trying to get a reel? Are you trying to get a video? Are you trying to get photos and just sent to you? A lot of influencers have like a price list. So they'll have like, okay, for a story promo, they charge a certain price. For a feed post, they'll charge a certain price. For a reel, they'll charge a certain price. Some influencers do it for free. That's why I told you guys to hit up at least 50 to 100 influencers a day, because you never know. That 100K influencer might actually do it for free compared to like a 50K influencer that'll send you a price list of, and it's like $75 for a story post and $250 for a feed post, you know, that type of thing. So that's why I say hit up at least 50 to 100 influencers a day. And I gave you guys the outreach template, right? So you don't have to create your own message. All you have to do is go to the Discord and copy and paste. So like I said, make sure you know what you want to get out of these influencers. Do you want a story post? Do you want a feed post? Do you want a reel? Do you want a video? Whatever it is, make sure you know what you want before you contact the influencer. If you don't have a contract with them, that's when you have to follow up and see if they got the merch and see if they can take pictures, right? Usually when influencers do things for free, or celebrities or even athletes, you gotta have to be kind of patient, y'all, because free work is a lot different than paid work. So when you're paying an influencer, it's a lot different. They're on it, they're taking the pictures, they're giving you the content in a certain amount of time and all that type of stuff. Right? But when you're dealing with influencers, celebrities, athletes for free, you gotta kind of be patient. Be patient when it comes to that. Also, another pro tip when it comes to influencer marketing, this is what I emphasize with my students as well. Get that collab post. Let me show you guys real quick my collab post that I do with my influencer. So go to my brand right here, boom, right? Here's an influencer that recently posted in my merch, and we did a collab post, right? Not that one. This one right here, right? So as you can see, I did a collab post with one of my influencers. Her name is Ari. And we did a collab post with her page and my Be Special page, right? My brand page. And this is super, super, super important, right? Because you got to think about it. This influencer that has 100,000 followers, whatever, however much engagement they're getting, 100 comments, 200 comments, every post, right? When they post your merch and you guys have a collab post, all of that engagement is going to go to your brand page as well. Right? If you don't do a collab post, now the influencer posts in your merch and it's only on their page. So if people are asking where to get it, who the brand is, and of course the influencer is going to tag you, but it looks a lot better when people are scrolling on their feed and they see the influencer collab with the brand page. So now they know where that merch has came from. On top of that, you get all of the engagement that the influencer is getting. So if the influencer is getting 5,000 to 10,000 likes, you're also getting that on your brand page. So it looks good. Right? On top of that, if people are visiting your brand page and they see this type of post, it just makes you look even better with the trust and the credibility, showing people that influencers are actually wearing your merch. So always, always highly recommended, man, try to get that collab post with that influencer. Like literally, that should be like the first thing that you ask the influencer. Can we do a collab post with my brand page? Super important. Also, when it comes to influencer marketing as well, y'all, there are going to be instances where influencers are not going to respond to you. All right, or they're gonna be slow responding to you. That's okay. Go to the next influencer, y'all. Like, you guys wanna be so hooked on one influencer and I need to get him in my merch, I need to get him in my merch. If they're not responding and they're not giving you the same energy and they're not giving you great energy to wear your merch, go to the next influencer. That influencer that you're trying to get into your merch may not even like your merch. So go to the next influencer, all right? It's okay if an influencer doesn't contact you back or is slow responding to you. It's okay. That's why I recommend contacting 50 to 100 influencers a day so that you don't have to feel that type of feeling. So if they don't respond or they're slow responding, it's okay. Go to the next influencer. There's so many influencers out there on Instagram, y'all. You guys will be okay. So like I said, we have a full vetted influencer list and outreach templates inside my Discord, man. So if you need that, go ahead and hit the second link in the description. So now that we talked about influencer marketing, let's talk about SMS marketing. SMS is one of the highest converting tools in your entire arsenal. I talked about that earlier in the video, man. SMS marketing is super important. Not everybody is on Instagram every single day at every single moment. People have lives outside of social media. So a lot of you brand owners are relying on Instagram for customer updates and drops and all that type of stuff. SMS marketing has to be your number one priority. So, like I said, use Postscripts to collect SMS subscribers from your password page. Schedule drop alerts and exclusive offers. I showed you guys earlier in this video how to create drop alert campaigns for your clothing brand. So, your goal should be anywhere between 500 to 1,000 subs before drop day. This is super, super important, y'all. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. There are so many brand owners that contact me and say, how many subscribers should I have before I drop? Hey, I have 100 subscribers on my SMS list. Is it time to drop? Hey, I have 150 subscribers on my SMS list. Is it time to drop? Let me tell you guys this. I'm gonna bring you guys into reality real quick. Only expect 5% of your SMS subscribers to buy. Let me say that again. Only expect 5% of your SMS subscribers to actually buy. right? If it's more, that's great, but only expect 5%. So if you only have 100 subscribers on your SMS list, 5% of 100 is only 5 orders, right? So if you only have 100 people on your SMS subscribers, you should only expect 5 orders. Simple as that. That's just how the game goes. That's just how business goes. That's just how SMS marketing goes. A lot of people sign up for the SMS and never buy, right? They just sign up and just call it a day. That's why I recommend getting at least 500 subscribers on your SMS list to get a guaranteed 25 orders. At least you're gonna get 25 orders with 500 subs before drop day or on drop day. Now, if you want to get more than 25 orders, you got to get more than 500 subs. And the only reason why I say that is because, yeah, you're going to get 20, you might even get more than 25. But 25 is going to be the minimum when you have 500 subscribers. Now, a lot of you guys have only 100 or 150 and you guys want to drop, and then your drop doesn't go too well because you didn't get at least 500 subs. You think you got 100 subs and you think all 100 people are going to buy, and that's not the case. So I always recommend, getting at least 500 to 1,000 subscribers before drop day. Now, if you're looking to drop in a couple weeks and you only have 100 subs and you're looking to drop in like 2 weeks, okay, it's time to start grinding. It's time to start posting content. It's time to start pushing that SMS list. It's time to start setting up your password page and start pushing people to your password page and start having people sign up for your SMS. Post content. More eyes, more sales. More eyes, more subscribers. A lot of you brand owners are sitting there and wondering why you're not getting any SMS subs. You're not posting content. You're posting content once a day. What is that gonna do? So that's just a side note when it comes to SMS subscribers, because I have so many brand owners in my DMs asking me what's a good number for SMS subscribers before drop day. 500. And then when I say 500, they're like, wow, that's a lot. I don't know. I plan on dropping in the next couple weeks. Well, push the drop back, right? Push the drop back. Why do you want to force a drop when you don't even have enough subscribers for the drop? That makes no sense. You're just going to disappoint yourself. So like I said earlier in the video, incentivize consumers to sign up for your SMS list. How do you do that? When you're posting content, you want to funnel people into the SMS list, but you want to also include your incentives. All right, let me give you guys an example real quick, because I'm always going to give you an example from my brand, because there's no point of me teaching you guys and I don't use it for my own brand, right? There's a lot of clothing brand owner gurus and content gurus out there, you know who you are, that don't even show yourself doing it for your brand or whatever you do. So let's just go to my brand. As you can see, I have my yellow tape collection dropping actually tomorrow. No, this week. I have my yellow tape collection dropping this week. And you can see, if you look at my caption, this line right here says, we strongly recommend joining our VIP list for early access and a mystery discount on drop day. So I just gave you guys 2 incentives to join my VIP list, right? You get early access and you get a mystery discount. Let's go to my other post, right? Let's go to this post right here. Join our VIP list for exclusive early access, mystery discount, and free shipping on your entire order. The link is in the bio. I'm funneling people that like this merchandise to my SMS list. And I do it on every post, right? Let's look at this reel. Same thing. Our yellow tape collection is in high demand. Join our VIP list for exclusive early access, mystery discount, and free shipping on your order. I do it on every single post. Every single piece of content that I post, I am funneling people to my SMS list with incentives. So a few incentives that you can do: 10 to 20% off your order. First 50 orders ship immediately. Rest, wait 2 weeks. If you're doing a pre-made drop and you only have 50 pieces, but you want to continue selling, you can tell people, okay, the first 50 people are getting their order immediately and the rest have to wait 2 to 3 to 4 weeks for a pre-order. That tells people I have to get onto the SMS list, so I am one of the first 50 people to order, so I don't have to wait. Number 3, giveaways exclusive to SMS. So we kind of talked about that earlier in the video. Doing giveaways and funneling people to the SMS list. They can only join the giveaway, they can only enter the giveaway if they join your SMS list. And then, like I said, early access, right? Early access works all the time. You want to make sure the consumer gets early access, right? It makes them feel exclusive. It makes them feel like VIP, right? To get that early access for your drop. I kind of went through the drop day SMS strategy with you guys earlier in the video, but if you guys do have the financials, like I said, if you have the financials to send out multiple texts before your drop day, it's highly recommended. So 7 days before, tease the drop. 3 days before, build the hype. 24 hours before, send out a reminder, drop date in the morning, send out that SMS early access link, and 15 minutes post drop, make sure you send a follow-up. I already showed you guys earlier in the video on how to construct that SMS text message. So if you missed that, make sure you scroll back to earlier in the video when I showed you guys how to do that. The better the offer, the higher your conversion rate. A basic 10% off is cool, but try things like a free t-shirt on your first order, a flash 30% off for the first hour, secret giveaway for the first 10 orders. We've seen 2 out of every 100 SMS subscribers convert. So make those 100 people count. Like I said, 5%, man. Think about that. Every time on your SMS list, 5% of people out of your SMS list are going to buy. So if you get 500 people, minimum 25 people are going to buy. So if you want more orders, make sure you get more subscribers. Now, let's talk about paid ads. Now, before I even get into paid ads, if you're a startup brand, I'm gonna say this as calmly as possible. Do not start running paid ads. Paid ads are for brands that are doing well organically and can scale. Paid ads are for scale. When you're a new brand, a brand new brand, a startup brand, you have nothing to scale. Don't start a brand and automatically try to start running paid ads. Paid ads are for scaling. They take something and they scale it. They bring it up, all right? If you're a new brand, you have nothing to scale. You have no content, you have no products, you have no type of trust and credibility. So what are we scaling? You're just gonna be wasting money. So if you're a startup brand, do not run paid ads yet. Grind organically first, all right? Grind organically first. Post organically first. Get you some influencer marketing. Get some customers in your merchandise. Post a lot of content. Make your brand credible. Bring value to your brand. Create value for your brand first before you start running paid ads. The way paid ads work is that they reach people out of your area, people in different states, people in different countries. When strangers spend their hard-earned money with you, you have to give them a reason to spend their money with you. And if you're a brand new brand and you have no trust and credibility and any type of notoriety with your brand, any type of value with your brand, they're not gonna spend money with you. Going back to my brand, right? Let's look at my brand. As a stranger watching this video right now, and you've never been introduced to my brand, and this is your first time on my page, it's trustworthy. It's credible. You're comfortable with spending money with my brand because I'm giving you everything. Influencers, celebrities, athletes, customers wearing it, all that type of stuff. So just kind of think about that. Compare my brand page to yours. Are you ready to run paid ads? Just ask that for yourself. Now, like I said, I won't go super deep into paid ads just for the simple fact that a lot of you guys that are watching aren't ready to run paid ads, but I'll give you some of the simple basics when it comes to running paid ads. Number one, your content, your creatives. That is the most important when it comes to running paid ads, are the creatives and the content. So that's why I said if you're a new brand and you have no content and you don't know how to make content, there's no point of you running paid ads. So if you think you are ready to run paid ads, right? Say your brand has been going for a little while, you got some good organic reach, and you think you're ready to run paid ads. Here's one type of campaign that you can kind of set up for your brand. And if you want me to go a little bit more in depth into it, I do have a Facebook campaign setup video on my YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. But one campaign you can start off with is the objective would be sales. The age range for your ad set would be 18 to 35, right? And this is kind of depending on your brand. If you're a more of a luxury brand, kind of comfort brand, more of a like essentials type of brand, sweatsuits, you can probably go for like the 18 to like 45 to 50. But if you're a streetwear brand and you're making like distressed denim and crop tees and jerseys and all that type of stuff, you want to go around 18 to 35, right? That's more for like the younger age. And when it comes to gender, also depends on you as well, right? Like if you're a swimsuit brand, you only want to target women. But for a lot of you guys that are watching, you guys are more of like streetwear brands. I would do, for your gender, I would do all, right? Men and women. With your location, you want to start off with your country, which is the United States. Start off with the United States for now. And then once you start seeing some improvement with your ads, you start seeing a good ROAS, you start seeing good numbers, you want to eventually venture out to international people. So your audience needs to be broad with no detailed targeting. So that's just like the first type of campaign that you want to start running when it comes to paid ads. And the reason why you want to start broad is because you want to kind of find your audience first when it comes to paid ads. So start broad, start finding your audience a little bit when it comes to paid ads, and go from there. Now, a 3 to 4x return on ad spend, or ROAS, is very strong. Anything above that means your content and funnel is working. So when it comes to the funnel of paid ads, right, you want to make sure your funnel is ideal, y'all. You want to make sure your funnel is correct, because it doesn't make sense for you to spend money on paid ads and your funnel is way off. I see a lot of people running paid ads and they'll run the funnel or the link that they attach to the paid ad, they'll run it to their Instagram page. And it's like you're trying to sell a product, but you're running the ads to your Instagram page. When it comes to the funnel, y'all, you want your consumers to go in and out when it comes to running paid ads. Click the link, buy. So you don't want the link to go to your Instagram page. You want the link to go to the actual product page. So let me show you guys real quick. We're gonna go to my brand right here and we're gonna go to this product right here. So when I tell you guys, go to the product page, you wanna copy the link from the product page, right? This page right here, you wanna take that link and attach it to your paid ad. Don't attach the link to your Instagram page. That gives consumers too many clicks, right? It's too many clicks. It's too much work to get to your product. You have to go to the Instagram page, then go to the link in the bio, then go to the product, instead of instantly going to the product when you're running the ad. So that is super, super important. We'll go deeper into this full ads breakdown inside my Discord, plus an up-and-coming free class. If you're already in my mentorship and you're watching this video right now, you know that when it comes to running ads, I help you guys step by step, whether it's setting it up, whether it's setting up your ad pixel, or whether it's setting up your campaigns, or whether it's optimizing your ads, or even scaling your ads as well. You know, if you're watching this and you're in my mentorship, you know that I help you guys with that step by step. Now let's talk about in real life marketing. And I feel like a lot of you brand owners that are watching really shy away from this aspect when it comes to in real life marketing. You guys believe that, you know, online is the only place where you guys can get sales. A lot of you brand owners that are watching are sitting on unsold inventory, and you're wondering why you're not selling it, because you're not getting outside and putting it in people's faces. Online is cool, right? Online is this new generation. Online is, you know, the easiest way to make money now. But if you're not converting online, go outside. Go to different events like local pop-up shops and even SneakerCon. SneakerCon has a great way where you can set up a booth at their event. You know, it might cost you a little bit, but you can set up a booth at their event and sell your merchandise. If you have local pop-up shops in your city, contact them. See if you can set up a pop-up shop wherever they're at, you know, whatever it is. Pop-up shops are super, super important, man. And I love pop-up shops because it also gives you like a personal kind of the relationship with the consumer. Also, you get to kind of talk to them about the brand a little bit, man. Again, like I said earlier in the video, when you're online, you catch the eyes of the consumer with the product, and then they learn about your brand, and then they learn about your message. But when it comes to pop-up shops, the product also, you know, gets the attention of the consumer first, but you're also able to actually communicate with the consumer and tell them about the brand and tell them about the story, and then they can build, and then you guys build that personal relationship, and then they buy. So that's the kind of like trick when it comes to pop-up shops, man. When you see a consumer kind of like walking past your booth a little bit, kind of checking out the merchandise, you're able to like go to them and say, hey, you know, you see what you like? Oh yeah, this piece is, you know, is dedicated to boom, 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 and it's a story about boom, 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 and you know, I made this because of this, this, or that. And then you tell them about the brand. You know, my brand is called Be Special. We're here to motivate and let everyone know, you know, they're a one of one, and you know, there's too many influence on social media and a lot of people telling you to live a certain way. That type of thing, right? You know, having a conversation with the consumer, because once they have that personal relationship with you and they learn about you and learn about your brand, then they're more connected to the product compared to online where they just see the product. If they like it, they buy it, right? There's no like kind of like conversation that you can have with the consumer first before they buy. And I love pop-up shops too, because maybe you have someone looking, and then they start to kind of walk away. You can kind of bring them back in, right? You can bring them back in and say, hey, you know, you taking a look at anything? You want to have any questions or anything? Boom, boom, boom. Then you start having that conversation. When it comes to online, you know, people might see your product, right? They see it, and they're like, okay, that's cool, boom, boom, boom. And then they might get distracted. Boom, they get distracted and they put their phone down, and now you don't get a sale. So that's why I love pop-up shops, man. You get to have that real physical interaction with the consumer. Also, hand out flyers, business cards at schools, concerts, events, even when you're at the mall, right? That's why I always encourage you guys to wear your merch. A lot of you guys don't wear your merch now. I don't understand it. Like, I wear my merch all the time, especially when I get a sample in. Anytime I go outside, I'm wearing my sample. Anytime I go hang out with friends or hang out with family, I'm wearing my sample, because when someone asks about it, I can be like, oh, here you go. Here's my business card. There's my Instagram. There's my website. Or even if I'm wearing merch that I just dropped, I wear it, have my business cards in my pocket. Oh, here you go. Here's my website. Here's my Instagram. I came across a brand owner the other day at the mall, and I was like, oh, I like what you have on. I told him, I was like, I like what you got on. That's fire. You got Instagram or anything? He was like, yeah. Takes out his phone, right? Takes out his phone and starts showing me his Instagram page. And I'm just like, it would be a lot easier for you to just hand me a business card and then I could follow your Instagram later on. So kind of think about that when it comes to in real life marketing. Give pieces directly to artists. You know, I gave mine to Soulja Boy and Drake. So as a brand owner, y'all, you got to be a hustler as well. So if you're in a city where one of your favorite rappers or just a celebrity or athlete or any type of influencers in your city and they're hosting an event or whatever it is, go to that event, buy tickets for that event, and find a way to get your merch to that influencer, to that celebrity, whatever it is. You have to be a hustler at the end of the day, man. I done took so many risks when it came to it, right? If you go on my TikTok page, you can literally see me throwing merch to Drake on stage at his concert. We're talking about Drake, one of the biggest rappers ever, right? Biggest artist ever. I literally took my merch and threw it to him on stage. I have a video. Go to my TikTok page, you will see it. And that's all about the hustler mindset. I knew I wasn't gonna get backstage to see Drake. I knew I didn't know anyone around Drake. So how can I get my merch to him? I threw it on stage. Did he wear it? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. You just never know. That's another thing. You guys don't take risks, but you never know the outcome, right? Take the risk. You're never going to know the outcome. Be where your audience hangs out and show up with value, man. All right. That's all I got to say when it comes to in real life marketing. Be a hustler at the end of the day. Be a hustler. Now, when it comes to email marketing, it's literally the same thing as SMS. If you don't want to push your SMS list, push your email list. It's literally the same type of concept when it comes to SMS marketing. Email should complement SMS, not replace it. Now, if you want to choose one, right? If you want to choose one, whether it's email or SMS, that's fine, right? If you want to just pick one, whether it's email, SMS, that's fine. If you want to use both, that's even better. But you want to make sure you get one of the other from the consumer. We either get the text, we either get the phone number, or we either get the email, right? It's either one. Use Klaviyo. I said that earlier in the video. Use Klaviyo. Klaviyo is an email marketing app on Shopify that you can use for your emails. Now, Shopify actually has its own email marketing that you can use as well, but I like to use Klaviyo because it's a little bit easier to use. Email marketing is great for abandoned cart recovery, post-drop follow-ups, and weekly brand updates. So like I said, when it comes to if you're running a pre-order drop, you want to utilize your email marketing, SMS marketing. Make sure you're updating them every week on the drop to make sure they're not charging back or they're not complaining or anything like that. Now, here's my final word on marketing. Marketing isn't optional, it's essential. I like to put marketing at number one, right? A lot of people like to put product at number one. I like to put marketing at number one because I've seen a lot of trash products have great marketing and still sell. But the thing with that is that if you have a trash product with good marketing, you're not going to have returning customers because the customers are going to receive your product, see that it's trash, and not buy from your brand anymore. So actually, I like to put marketing at number two, honestly. Marketing is at number two. Product has to be number one. Because again, like I said, I've seen brands that have really trash products, good marketing, but no returning customers because the customers get the product in and they see it's trash and they don't buy from the brand. But if you have a good product with good marketing, you don't have to worry about any of that. You will have returning customers, you will get sales, and you will be successful. It's what separates the people who build something real from the ones who fall off after one drop. One of the biggest struggles that my students had when they joined my mentorship was marketing. And they were able to fix that struggle within like literally a couple days after joining my mentorship. Just for the simple fact because they didn't know how to go about marketing the right way. And we literally showed them the right way on how to go about marketing, how to do your market research, how to look at brands that are doing things that are working and simply replicating them, duplicating them, and putting your own spin onto them with their own brand. But every brand is different. So we make sure we curate that with you personally for yourself and your brand. So you're pretty much all set up. Say you had your drop, you sold 50, 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000 orders, and you had a successful drop, especially after watching this course, man. If you watch this course from 0 seconds all the way up to however long this course ends up being, man, you will be successful with your first, second, or even third drop. Now let's talk about customer fulfillment, right? Because you got all these sales, you did a great job with your marketing, you did a great job with your influencer marketing, did a great job with your product, did a great job with handling your manufacturer, and now it's time to finally have your customer fulfillment. If you followed all the steps in this course from building your brand identity to marketing your drop correctly, you should be in a position to have a successful drop. But this is the part that brand owners underestimate: fulfillment. What happens after the sale is just as important as everything that led up to it. All the work you put in before the drop, you have to put the same amount of work, the same energy into after the drop with the customer fulfillment. Because, like I said, the customer is number one. They gave you the money. Now it's time for you to do your job and fulfill the order. Now, just a little side note. a lot of brand owners that were running the pre-order drop. And this is why I'm all for pre-made drops, is because a few years back and even last year, a lot of brand owners were running the pre-order drop, and they would run a drop, they would get 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 in sales and never fulfill any of the orders and just run off with the money. Don't be that guy or girl. Be an honest brand owner. It's going to help you in the long run. Fulfill orders. Simple as that. Fulfill orders and make the customer happy so they can come back to your brand and spend even more money with you. So I know when you're running a pre-order, y'all, and you make a lot of money, man, and it's the most money you've ever seen in your bank account. Trust me, even with my student Elmira, man, if you guys go to that video that I dropped on my YouTube page of my interview with one of my students, Elmira, that made $12,000 in just one day with her brand, she even said it, man. She was like, this is the most money I've ever seen in my life in my bank account. And in her head, she was like, I want to go buy something that I've never bought, right? I want to go buy something that I never was able to afford. She had that in the back of her head, but she knew that she had to fulfill her customers, right? She had to fulfill her orders. She had to send the money to the manufacturer to start getting the bulk order made. I know it's going to be a lot of money on that drop day, and you see all these sales and you see all this money and you're like, wow, that's the most money I've ever seen in my life. And now you want to go spend it on something that you could never afford. Don't do that. I'm teaching you guys how to build a business and not just a one-hit wonder. I want you guys to have your business for years on end, man. And in order to do that, you have to fulfill these orders with these customers. Here's what separates brands stuck at 4 to 5K followers from the ones that hit 30, 50, or even 100K. They take customer fulfillment very, very seriously. If your shipping is late, if customers don't get updates, or if your orders arrive looking sloppy, you're just gonna lose trust. And trust is the foundation of any real brand. Let's break it down. How to ship orders. So now your inventory is in, you're figuring out how to actually ship orders. First of all, I recommend Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship is an app on Shopify. So I'll show you guys right here, this app called Pirate Ship. So I'm not currently logged in, but this is what Pirate Ship looks like. Pirate Ship will give you literally the cheapest rates when it comes to shipping your orders out. We recommend Pirate Ship to print your shipping labels. It's free to use and offers discounted rates through USPS. Also UPS as well. All you need is a thermal label printer, poly mailers or boxes, packing tape, and optional, which is branded tissue paper, stickers, thank you cards, or hang tags for a better unboxing experience. So I know after I said all that, you're like, well, where do I find that? So all you have to do is go to Amazon, and it's super simple, y'all. Go to Amazon.com, and when it comes to poly mailers, right? Let me show you what a poly mailer looks like. I'll go get my poly mailers real quick. But this is what a poly mailer looks like. And this is what your merchandise is going to go into. So let me we have my merchandise right here, as you can see. And this is what your merchandise is going to go into. And then you're going to take your shipping label and slap it right on the front of this poly mailer. So I know you're probably wondering, what size do I get poly mailers? So I always recommend 14 by 19, right? So if you type in 14 by 19 poly mailers, that's the ideal size for your merchandise. And that fits everything up to a hoodie. So you can fit a t-shirt in there, you can fit a pair of pants in there, you can fit a hoodie in there, right? So 14 by 19 is usually like the ideal size. If you wanna go anything shorter, anything smaller, you can. Like if you're just selling t-shirts, that's fine, you can go smaller, right? But if you're doing hoodies, I always recommend nothing less than 14 by 19 when it comes to hoodies. Thermal label printers, right? Again, all you do is go to thermal label printer, type it in on Amazon, thermal label printer. I always recommend the roller label printer, just because it works off Bluetooth, so that's super cool. You can do Bluetooth off your phone, off your computer, and that type of stuff, right? So I usually use this roller right here. It's about $200. But you can go for the cheaper thermal labels as well. As you can see, there's some at like $120. There's some at like $69. But always think about this, y'all. Always think about this. You get what you pay for. So if you're buying a $69 thermal label printer, just know you might have some troubles with it. I don't know. You might not. I don't know. But just know you get what you pay for. So you always want to make sure it's 4x6 as well. That's what your labels are going to be, right? The labels have the addresses on it to ship to the customer are always going to be 4x6. So again, a lot of the essentials when it comes to fulfillment with your customers, when it comes to packing your orders, is going to be on Amazon. If you are looking for a whole list of Amazon essentials, I actually have that in my free Discord as well. So make sure you take a look at that. If you want to go the extra mile with custom packaging like branded boxes, woven and printed neck tags, you can get that from your manufacturer. Wrapping paper with your logo, you can get from your manufacturer. Personalized thank you cards, you can get from your manufacturer, or you can get from Vistaprint. Vistaprint will allow you to create, this is Vistaprint right here. So Vistaprint will allow you to create thank you cards for your brand as well. So I believe if you hit standard postcards, as you can see, you can create your own thank you card for your order package or whatever, right? So these small touches leave a lasting impression, and that's what keeps customers coming back. Now let's talk about avoiding getting your money held by Shopify. This is a situation that has happened to me before, so I'm not telling you information that's never happened to me. Everything that I've showed you guys in this course, I've experienced with my brand. And how to not get your money held by Shopify. One thing most people don't tell you is that Shopify can and will hold your funds. Shopify held my funds for over 120 days, and I'm talking about $20,000 plus that they held from my brand. If they think your order volume is suspicious and you're not fulfilling fast enough, they will hold your funds. It happened to me. In one of my earlier drops, I made a big number and Shopify froze my payouts because I didn't have shipping processes fully dialed in. That delay slowed everything down and hurt my momentum. How do you avoid Shopify holding your funds? Ship quickly. Upload tracking numbers right away. Communicate clearly with your customers. I've said that numerous times in this video. Make sure your return and refund policies are visible. We talked about that earlier in the video as well. So that's how you don't get your funds held with Shopify, man. All you have to do is ship your orders and communicate with your customers to not get charged back. It's super simple. A lot of you guys come in my DM asking me, how do I not get my funds held? That's exactly how right there, right? And if you're running a pre-order drop, be careful. That's why I say the communication is so important, because if your communication is off, you're gonna get chargebacks and you're gonna get Shopify holding your funds. Shopify holding your funds is not fun, y'all. I promise you it's not fun. Because if they're holding your funds, you can't pay your manufacturer to get the bulk made. You can't pay your marketing expenses. You can't pay for, different expenses within your business. How your business is just gonna go underwater and go bankrupt because Shopify is holding your funds and you have no extra money. So handle support like a pro. You should be checking and replying to customers' emails daily. If you're scaling and getting more orders, outsource your customer service to someone who can handle it professionally. We cover exactly how to do that inside my Discord, and we cover it step by step inside my mentorship. How to deal with cancellations and returns, how to handle delays and missing packages, what to say to customers, and how to keep them happy. So with my final word when it comes to Shopify holding your funds, man, the sale doesn't end at checkout. It ends when the customer gets their order, opens it, and says, wow, this brand is hard, right? That's where it ends. It doesn't end when you get the sale, y'all. It ends when that customer is fulfilled. That's how you build a brand. That's how people remember you and talk about you. I've been through all the BS when it comes to owning a clothing brand, y'all. Delayed shipments, bad packaging, money held by platforms, and that's why I'm telling you this. I'm giving you the game that took me years and years to find out. If you take this part seriously, you're not just going to build a brand that sells, you're gonna build a brand that lasts. All right, look, we covered a lot in this course. I've given you the exact frameworks, strategies, and mindset shifts you need to build your successful clothing brand from scratch. But here's the reality. Information without implementation is worthless. Just for your disclaimer, I'm gonna give you some tough love right now. This isn't to hurt you, but to show you what reality might actually look like if you don't change. Sometimes we need that little wake-up call to see things clearly. Think about where you are right now. Waking up to that dreaded alarm clock every morning, rushing through traffic just to clock in on time, standing on your feet all day delivering packages in 120-degree heat like I was, or maybe sitting in a cubicle watching minutes tick by, having to ask permission to use the bathroom like we're back in elementary school, missing your kids' baseball games or dance recitals because you have to work, living paycheck to paycheck, building someone else's dream instead of your own. Is that really the life you want to keep living? Because right now, you got 3 options. Option 1, do nothing with what I just taught you. Go back to your 9 to 5 tomorrow like this course never happened. Keep missing those special moments with your family. Keep feeling that creative part of you slowly dying while you're building someone else's empire. Keep trading your time for money until you're 65 and wondering where your life went. Option 2, which is a bit better, but this is where you try to implement everything yourself. Spend months, possibly years, figuring out what exact details, make expensive mistakes on samples that look nothing like what you envisioned, waste thousands on failed production runs, post content that gets 0 engagement, get scammed by manufacturers, hit roadblock after roadblock, all while still working that soul-crushing 9 to 5, hoping something eventually sticks. Now here's option 3, will probably be the best option for you. Join my one-on-one mentorship program, where I personally guide you step by step through my clothing brand accelerator methodology, the exact 4-pillar system that took me from delivering packages at UPS to doing $68,000 months with my brand, and the exact same method that got the results for our students right now. Elmira, 19 years old, $15,000 in just 1 day on her first drop. Victor, 0 knowledge to 1K days in 60 days. That's $30,000 a month. David, Mario, and Dane, quitting their 9 to 5 after hitting 10K in 30 days. That full testimonial is actually on my YouTube as well. So is Elmira. Cash, 4K in 1 day, now scaling to $40,000 months. Emmanuel, $20,000 months at just 17 years old. Zach, a total beginner, 1K to 2K days. Matt, who sold out out his first drop and bought his dream car, a Hellcat, in his first month. Shanera with her first drop in just 1 month, and she was scammed by another mentorship. Once she joined ours, she was able to sell out in just 1 month, and so many more. None of these people were special. They were actually where you are right now. The only difference, they made that decision to invest in themselves and their future. Remember what I said earlier, that move you're scared to make might be the one that changes your life forever. And listen, I need to be completely transparent with you. We're extremely selective about who we let in this program. Every month, we only accept a couple new students who genuinely believe what it takes to succeed. We don't want to waste our time or yours if you're not committed. Right now, we're at 89 success testimonials. Once we hit 100, the price of the program is going to go up. So right now is the cheapest it'll ever be. As our track record grows, so does the value of our offer. So if you're serious about building a clothing brand that lets you quit your 9 to 5, travel the world, and live life on your own terms, click the link in the description right now. It's going to take you a quick 10-minute video on how we can actually help you and how the 4-step clothing brand accelerator methodology actually works. And if you think the program is right for you, apply for a call with me and my team. And well, if you qualify, we can see how we can actually help. Don't wait. Don't tell yourself next month or when I need more money saved up. I did that for years at UPS and it delayed my freedom. Think about what your life could look like in the next 90 days. Waking up when you want, working from wherever you want, making more in a day than you currently make in a week, building something that represents your vision and your creativity, never asking to ask for permission to use the bathroom again. A couple months from now, you'll either be celebrating your 10 to 20K drop and planning your 2 weeks notice with your job, or you'll be in the exact same spot, wishing that you started today. Again, the first link is in the description. Click it, apply for a call, and let's build your freedom together. Mr. Be Special, we gone.